Hello everyone and welcome back to Dungeon Delverz, the crazy geeky stream of D&D players who like to stream on D&D on YouTube. I really need to get that intro fixed because it never sounds right. It's never consistent. It's geeky people D&D and that's all I know. That's cool.
Hey, different every time.
I mean, it's an intro.
I mean, is it flavour or is it just me forgetting? I don't know.
It's better.
To be honest, do we even keep up with some things nowadays?
I am here with the incredible cast around me of our Icewind Dale Rama the Frostmaiden campaign, in which this is episode 11. I think it's 11. 11.
Yes,
11.
now, yeah.
11. 11 episodes.
11.
We did start like at 7, didn't we? So I haven't done that many. But
Yeah, so
well, technically we've done 1 to 6, but they didn't see this. So go check the prologue if you didn't know what happened at 1 to 6, and if you did, fantastic. Start at 7 and then watch till now, because then you'll get obviously what's going on. So we really appreciate all the comments, likes, and subscribes as normal, and obviously carry on smashing the buttons around things, and I don't know where they are. But yeah, we really, really appreciate it, and so far we have had a great success, which is nice. We do have an announcement before we start, and I know this one. Yay!
We all know this one.
If Willow would like to take it away.
Hello, guys. Well, I have put together a little bit of something. I did say a couple of weeks ago I was putting it together, and me and this other guy called Mark have been really. It's been very hard working, shall I say. So you've all got packages, and if you would like to open them, please.
We have all received packages, some of us of which are quite far away in the world.
Open, says me.
Oh god, I can't get mine open.
Well, you've done this ribbon too tight.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm having struggle with.
Oh, I don't get a ribbon. I just get an envelope. I mean, it's fine.
That's because we were far away. We got
god damn it. There's a
Dusty
second.
Post.
Oh, I've got the same as you.
Are we playing parcel here?
We should wear
I was about
Christmas
to
hats.
sing the tune, but the first one that came to mind was...
Genuinely feels.
Yeah, Jam, pass your one on, Jamie. You're not allowed to open the next bit.
Yeah, there you go, Luke. Wait, no, there you go, Luke.
Should we do one of those
Yeah,
TikToks
yeah,
where we throw it and then someone else catches it and goes,
Oh my god!
Hurry up, I want to see it, and I don't want to open it without you guys.
Yeah,
okay,
can we open
I'm ready.
it?
Right.
I'm ready. I haven't seen it yet.
What is it? I've got mine, but I can't.
Ready?
Okay,
Oh
I'm
my
ready.
God.
I'm ready.
3,
3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Yeah. Oh!
Oh, mate.
Oh my god!
That is
They
so
both got
cool.
names on it.
I'm going to name for them!
You know,
Holy shit!
Who's Damian Marley?
This is going to sound like the saddest millennial thing ever, but I don't actually own a coaster, so thank you.
I actually get told off all the time
Actually.
for not having a
Was that-
coaster, so this is amazing.
was this from Mark, did you say, Chloe?
Yeah, so this was made by
It's gonna be
a...
a better Christmas present than he's getting.
Oh, don't say that! Don't say that!
He watches it, so he'll know.
Yes.
I hope this means you can't kill our characters now, because we've got...
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
stamped down.
I haven't
It's
thought
been
about that.
stamped.
Now, you don't have an excuse.
So, just to put it out
I
there,
need to
you
change
can't kill
the
us.
thing for No, I'm joking. It's fine.
Oh my
Every
God.
time, if
I
Salvation
would've
dies,
done-
every
I
time I
would've-
take a sip of water, I'll just cry.
Seriously though,
Yeah, so-
this is
As soon as I
amazing.
got out of isolation, I would have
And
punched you.
everyone can show theirs on screen because it'd be cool if everyone shows them on screen at the same time.
I don't even... Oh, hang on. I don't even want to put a
Luke,
cup
show
on it.
yours.
I did.
Sentry!
Same
I just
I'm done.
put one of my drinks on it.
Well, I've been using mine for the past couple of days.
Jackal's
and
doing
I
it the same, but he can't see it. It's fine.
Yeah.
just
You
want to
guys-
say, guys, this was made by a guy called Mark, and he worked really hard on it. He is known as the Basic Woodworker, so if you guys can go and follow on Instagram, it's www.instagram.com/thebasicwoodworker.
We'll
So
put
we'll
a
put
link
the
down
link
in
in
the
below. Yeah, if
With-
you go and follow him, he's done some really smashing work. He's done books, he's done coasters, he does dice boxes and stuff, and yeah, it's just he does a smashing job. So you guys could go follow him. That'd be amazing.
Very well made.
Carpet, or is it like
No, it's wood burning.
You'll just have to, follow his page and go and have a look at his stuff.
It
That is
genuinely
true.
feels like
Sounds like
the quality
Oh,
is
I can
really, really good.
drink.
The quality
Smell
is
it.
really, really good. Have we got
Smells like campfire.
It's a proper smell. But I've been putting my cup in it for the last couple of days. I've been so excited to show you guys. It's been
Yeah, I love that. Cool.
That is really cool.
We've got
Really
full
cool.
on this.
yeah. So I thought it'd be a nice little Christmas present because
Well, thank you very much, Chloe.
It's
Thank you,
okay.
Chloe. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah,
Go
Thanks
and
for
check
the-
out the link that Willow has been obviously on about. Obviously, I think we'll have the description of the link. Hopefully, we'll put it down.
Basic woodworker.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
on
I'll
Instagram and he
pop it-
has
I'll pop
got an
it on.
Etsy page coming up as well. So he will be sending it out. It's on his Instagram. So if you want to buy it online, it's on Etsy. So
There you go.
Yay.
Super work there, Mark. Absolutely amazing.
You
Cool.
get a coaster, and you get a coaster.
I do get it. But yeah, as a little example, there's his page. So if you guys can go and follow him, he does amazing work.
Lots of
That's
wood
what he
stuff.
looks like.
Brilliant.
And by the
Maybe
way,
we could get it
I
on-
designed that thing.
Oh wow. So at
Well,
Basic
shout
Woodworker,
out
it would be
within
on,
a shout out.
At
Basic
Basic
Woodworker.
Woodworker,
on
yes,
Instagram.
on Instagram.
Is it-
So if you guys could go follow, that would be
Awesome.
amazing.
Go and check him out. And on that note, let's roll into tonight's session.
Even fun there, Luke.
So, if we all are settled down, we shall recap the last episode. As the party woke from a distracted and haunted sleep, questions asked to Willow about her hidden dark power that lurks inside her. Early in the morning, as she gains consciousness, she shares the tale of history, including her broken relationship with the daunting Vikista and the sad story of Caned Tusk. She feels that the party may be in danger, but they reassure her that the shadowy entity and the party that are hunting her. They then make their way towards the exit to continue their search for Garret, the lost husband of Keegan. They make their way out of the Dwarven city. A short and sweet goodbye to Gizzard, the little stumpy dwarf that met you at the start, as they remember the search for a shipment and the collection of herbs they promised. They all make their way out of the cat flap, as you guys called it, into a familiar, desiccated landscape of that frozen tundra in the Dwarven Valley. Following the trail further down the valley, as the walls began to subside and become shorter, Sentry and Jackal see movement on the peak of the cliff of one of the sides. Becoming cautious, Sentry uses his newfound climber's kit to make his way up on the cliff edge, and then suddenly gets hit by a hawk flying into his shoulder, nearly dislodging him. Jackal has one shot of the hawk as it plummets to the ground, dead. Closer inspection to the hawk, aka Greegog, it was a pet bird that Jackal decided to then feed to Athena.
Can we not name it? It just makes me feel bad.
That's the reason he named it.
Greegog's dead.
Just leave it as bird.
I still have R.I.P. Greegog in my notes.
But Athena had a great meal, nevertheless. Moving on, the cliff completely subsided as they saw a small mounting pass, which looked like it treks through the direction of which they're traversing. Carefully moving on, cart tracks were found embedded in the snow, following the two polar bears that could be seen in the blizzarding, dusty mountainside. Sentry took no time to shoot an arrow into its direction, hitting it and revealing a small troop of goblins hauling a cart of ingots. A few more shots and a polar bear rolling up and slashing at a few goblins. More negotiation attempts were made by the goblin leader, where Sentry unleashed a cunning plan to use a ruse and show the goblin a deed of right, aka a shopping list, where he raged and attacked the goblin boss.
Forgot about that.
After a short battle and letting the polar bears go, that's why I say this, Sentry felt a strange sensation after using the psi crystal. His body transformed into a location, shifted into a strange metallic shelter with tendrils. Understanding a strange language and seeing all of this, he bumps back into a familiar form as Sentry, his own body, and sees the party once more.
Bounce back to reality.
Exactly. You all currently find yourself back to the position you're in between the mountain pass, but Sentry especially, you find yourself back with the party. But surprisingly, you've just been on a bit of a journey, but nobody knows. Or do they? What do you do?
Did we notice anything weird with him?
Everyone make a perception check for me, please.
Nice.
First check of the session.
First check of the session.
Let it be a good
I
one.
know.
Just
Not
completely-
for me.
Everybody say their rolls out as well, please. And
I got an 8.
13?
Stand by, sorry. I completely forgot. to stop.
23!
I've just been sat here.
23!
Nice.
Back
That's a
off.
good one.
23 is really good. Damn.
nice.
I'm just looking at my feet.
Yeah, finally.
Who hasn't
Bam,
rolled?
bam, bam. It's Jackal, and he got a 22.
We got Sentry's roll.
But it's not 23.
Am I doing a
Yeah,
section?
I said everyone, yeah, just so you can see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Luke.
Okay, so I would say that Jackal and Saya definitely saw the form of Sentry was basically, after loosening off these bindings of these polar bears and helping Salvation, he went from a kind of like slack position and sorting his tools out to very stiff and almost like an offline position. And the blue that you saw from his eyes were flickering, just ever so slightly.
I'm still in wolf form. Yeah, I am. Okay, I'm going to obviously notice this and kind of slowly pace my way over to Sentry and be like, you moved. Okay, there he is.
I'm moving with you, yeah.
Run away
Yeah.
from
Exactly the same.
I'll be like, you're right there, big mailman.
Yes, everything is fine. Let's make this cart.
Insight check.
Make an inside check, yeah.
Oh, that's an 11. That's a rough roll.
I'll make an insight check too.
Sentry!
Deception. I'm making. I'll do an insight as well. I got 24.
Okay. Sentry, do you want me to do it or do you want to do it?
Oh, you pretty tell something's got his gears rattled a little bit. Slightly more off kilter than his usual sure self.
Sentry, that looked a bit more than just nothing. Perhaps we should talk about it for a second before we move on.
Yeah, I look him up and down because I'm still in my werewolf form. I just go, I smell something's off.
Brilliant. Role play 10 out of 10.
I had a vision just now of some metal encampment with windows and tentacle-like creatures. I'm unsure as to what they are, to be told, but let's move these aside. I need to think on this more.
Tentacle. That sounds weird.
It's not anything that might endanger the party, is it?
Sounds dangerous.
When you said saw, how did you see it? Was it like in your head?
I don't know. I saw it through my eyes.
And tentacles. Do you know? Did you see anything in there? Any creatures? Anyone that you know?
None that I could recognize, Fraser. Right?
No.
No, I don't know what these creatures are.
Insight check.
Okay, make that roll.
What's the point? Okay.
So I'm not trying to matter. I don't know.
No, it's fair.
That's very true. Jackal would not know this information. Any information I do say is obviously
Yeah,
to character only. Yeah, so it's what the character would know, and
Yeah,
Jackal would know.
Do you see Jackal raise an eyebrow as he got an 18 on his insight?
Yeah, the gathering from that, Sentry's not scared or frightened, just unsure and collecting his thoughts.
Well, no, you can come to any of us about anything if you need anything, Sentry.
Well, let's. The area as well, Fraser. Sorry.
Yes.
There was metal and windows.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see any snow outside the windows, or can I not see through the windows? And was there any snow in the metal
The
area?
vision you had, you were almost standing on a platform that was one side was this interior of this weird chamber with like a steering wheel and like a window and some tendrils,
Yep.
and outside you were literally on the verge of a drop, which was about 5-10 feet, but it was the tundra of the familiar kind of like blanket of snow that you've seen very often on your journey, but you don't know where it is, but it just looks like very similar
Just
kind of
looks
like
more-
horizon of snow that you're very familiar with around here. Yeah.
Okay.
So you assume it could be around here because you don't know where it is, but
Yeah.
this is practically you would come to a conclusion. Possibly it's close or it's far away. You have no idea.
Well,
I mean,
okay,
have we...
Sayers kind of. Oh, sorry, were you going to say something, Jay?
No, sorry, I interrupted. I didn't realise you were going to carry on, so go on.
I was going to just say, Sayers kind of look up and down. I'm trying to think of like a different voice to do while I'm in wolf form. I'm just going to make my voice deeper. Or
It's
something.
cool. Go with it, man. I'm rocking it. You go. You do you. No copyright.
He's going to look at the sentry and be like, well, if you see anything that does resemble that, just let us know and we'll know that's probably not a good thing.
I'll keep my eyes out. Let's focus on. We need to get this cart moved away.
Have we actually searched the cart yet to see if it's got the stuff in that we're looking for?
I'll
No, but I can
walk
go
over
have a
to
look.
the cart and have a look.
Yeah, I'll help him. Look.
So as you guys kind of make your way closer to the cart, I won't make you roll for this. You can clearly see it was the cart itself is in quite a good structure. It's a quite nice cart. You wouldn't assume that goblins would be in possession of such a nice bit of kit, but on top you've got like a bit of tarp, and under the tarp is stacks, and I mean stacks of ingots.
Well, I think we found what we were looking for.
But how do we get it back?
but
It's great. help.
Yeah,
I've got increased strength.
we're not going to take this, but we are here looking for people. So, do we take this back, then come back to find climbers, or do we just hide it somewhere
I
and hope
think
for
we
best?
should
Take
try
it
and hide it in here.
All that.
You would
If we
I'm
take it
carrying
back,
this up,
it would
the
take
mountain's
too
going
much
to wear us
time.
down.
Well, we can take it. How far did we travel from that little cave?
I was about to say. So do you mean from the cave entrance
Like
or to the
from-
dwarven city?
From the cave to where we are now.
So from the cave to where you are now is about 5 minutes.
Well, we can take it back there and try and disguise it. Maybe essentially you can move that tree back in front of it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And then
There's a tree in front of it.
So I'm guessing you mean the end of the Dwarven Valley, which then it sheared off the,
Where we
the
took
rocks.
where we took that rest, yeah.
No, the rest was way before the Dwarven Valley.
Yeah.
that
So
was-
Oh,
when
was that-
that was the other side.
We're now,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
now
you're
in a
Got
cave.
to the bottom bit.
So you're five
Oh,
you're five
right, I
minutes
thought it
away
was
from the
up there.
entrance. You're 5 minutes away from the entrance of this mountain pass. And you're about 2 hours ish away from the Dwarven city.
Longer moving this part.
To that cave and that alcove that you were in earlier, over 4-5 hours.
Oh yeah, I thought that was beforehand, but that's fine. That's fine.
It's fine. Theatre of the mind.
Did we see any sort of caves passing on the way up of recent, say within the past 20 minutes?
So
Didn't you just say we were near 5 minutes away from a tunnel? Okay.
no. So the mountain pass of which you are in now, the entrance to that, where you are now, it goes from Mountain Pass entrance to a bit of like a plateau of loads of snow, and then back into the valley. So there's no real caves, but you could try and have a look for some if you wish. I don't mind.
Yeah, let's do that.
Ooh, excuse me.
I mean, if we move this, if we can move this down and try to conceal it in snow and such around the corner here. I mean, I doubt these goblins will make it back with the polar bears after them.
I don't
Exactly.
think
And
they're
come
trying.
back for it on the way back.
No,
mean-
but someone else might.
I've got an idea.
Hmm.
I can, if you give me 10 minutes after, I can put an alarm around it. It would only last approximately about 8 hours, but at least in that 8 hours, we know that they haven't come back for it.
Yeah,
It's a
And
good
it's-
idea, but
it
we
would mentally
should
tell
still
me.
hide it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Can't
Still
you leave
hide it in
Apollo?
alarm.
Sorry?
Can you not leave Apollo on the cart?
I would lose connection immediately after
Oh.
so long, so I
I'm
wouldn't be
gonna-
able to look through and keep an eye on it. So I can put an alarm around it and it'll last 8 hours, because we could be back by then, you never know.
I'm gonna pick up the end of the cart and start moving it to
I'm gonna help.
wherever Jackal advises me putting it. I'd imagine. Jackal, are you good at hiding tracks and such? You're good at tracking them.
Mm. I'd like to think so, Sentry. I mean, there's only one way to test it.
I'm gonna go with Sentry because in my wolf form I have in.
Can you help me?
Okay, so how long's your wolf form last? An hour, did you say?
Yes, and I literally just transformed into it right like near the end of that battle when I killed that guy.
Yeah, so I'd say you probably got about 53 or 4 minutes ish left of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go behind the cart as Sentry begins to move it. I'm going to do my best to cover up any and all cart trails.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
a good idea.
get on next to Sentry and get the other pillar and kind of
Okay.
move him.
For being so light, Willow's going to sit on the cart.
Okay. So, first off, if you're going to be covering tracks, Jackal, I'd like you to make a survival check, please.
Absolutely.
And what is the purpose of this? Where are you guys going with this? Sorry, just so I know.
We're taking it to the valley area that
Take it
we
to
came
the
from.
valley.
No, literally not
No?
to the valley. No, literally
No?
just to the corner around the side here. So that it's off the main bit, more on the side slanted, and then that way we can cover it with the snow. So otherwise, if we take it all the way back to the valley, then we'll be wasting more time, and Garret would be left out in the net for longer.
That's fine. Awesome.
Gonna cast guidance on Sentry.
All right.
Okay. So, with that survival check, Jackal.
10, by the way.
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't
no,
cut out.
I've seen it. You kind of like brushing up the snow, but as you're kind of doing it anyway, the blizzard itself, or the winds, or the high winds, it's not necessarily a blizzard, it's just strong wind, is pretty much desecrating this track. It's like picking it up, and you're trying to as you go down, it's just dust in your face constantly, and you can just assume that this probably will pass anyway within a few hours, maybe. But you kind of like scoop it over and ruffle it around, and you think you've done a good job.
Okay, in which case, after I've done it, or when I think that Blizzard's taking care of it, I'll just jump back on Athena and just sit behind the cart, keeping an eye on it.
Cool.
Mm.
So,
Yeah,
Do me and Sentry need to do a strength check at all?
so just describe to me what you're doing step by step. So you're moving the cart over to the side.
So like, yeah, somewhere around here.
So is it to the end of the mountain pass or towards the?
Literally slap bang in the middle. So I know that we came on in up round here. And
Yeah.
know the edge here.
This is, just so you know, this is 5 minutes in to the mountain pass. This bit here you're looking at is like it's kind of the bit where it meets from rock to snow, and it's roughly about 5 foot high. You would have to climb up to try and get it, or dig into it if you want to
Yep.
put it in.
Putting it there, so that way we can cover it with the snow, and that way mold in with all of the snow, because it's basically a snow bank. So we'll just put it
theoretically,
and
it's just
hide it in there.
Yeah.
That's my
Okay.
plan. Anyone else think of anything?
No,
Like that?
I'm just helping you let it.
Definitely got the best
I'll
idea.
I'll wait for him
over as well. Probably because
Yeah.
he's like far away.
I'll wait
Um,
for him to pop it down, and then I'll start my ritual.
Before he does it, before he puts it down, is there any kind of like ledge that looks like there's a lot of snow piled on top of it, which might be easily just tipped or knocked just to pile on top of the cart?
As a closer inspection, you can see quite easily ledges on the side of the cliff face that could look like they can be dislodged.
Can I have
Sentry,
another look
go.
around the area? Sorry.
So
Sentry, go park the cart over by that ledge. If we can get on top of it and knock off the snow, it should be easily covered. Take less time.
Yep, and I'll just.
Can I quickly take a look around the area to see if I can see if there's any better places to hide it, anywhere that looks more concealed?
yeah, absolutely. Make an investigation check.
I'll just move it around with
Are you-
Sarah's help. And
are you
pop
just-
it under.
Are you looking around your area, your certain vicinity, 60 feet, or are you going further out?
Sort of. I don't know. Yes, maybe a
How
tiny
far out
bit
you want to go?
further.
Yeah, it depends how far you want to go. You can go.
However far I can get, like, round in sort of like 5 or so minutes, just a quick whip round, just to.
Yeah, so 5 minutes, you could go very far out. In fact, you could go pretty much halfway all the way back. But-
Just whilst they've been deciding where to put it, I'll
Okay.
just see if I can find
Mm,
anywhere.
So make that check, and I'll have a think.
Ooh, 20.
20. With a 20, you kind of like go back. I would say probably on the way in. Probably walking about a minute or so. You look towards your left-ish, and there is a bit of an alcove, better than the one Sentry found earlier, with similar amounts of snow. To drag it that far, it would take you a little bit longer, but you would almost guarantee it would be concealed.
Okay. Guys, I have found another alcove up here that's just a little bit more hidden. It is a little bit further up, but I think it would definitely be safe there. What do you think?
Sounds like a good spot.
Sounds like a plan.
Brush off the snow that we'd have started popping on it.
Yep.
No, I would have done this before you'd taken it to that spot already.
Willow, make a intelligence check for him, please.
Straight intelligence.
Straight
smart.
intelligence.
Cool. 20.
20, brilliant. So with a 20, using your intellectual mind, you've read about cards, you've read about ingots, you know roughly how heavy they are. The amount of weight on this, and as you're trying, or you've seen Sentry just push it a few centimetres, you would know there's roughly 600 pounds of weight-ish on this. That would normally equate to 3 of you pushing it, would make it.
Who else is pretty strong here? Just saying.
How much did you say, sorry, in pounds it was?
600.
It is. I am half of this cart.
What?
And a bit. I'm just over
I
half
think
the
it's
cart.
going to take 3 people. Who else is pretty good at the muscles?
Would it take 3 people, Fraser, if I'm half this cart?
I'm pretty strong.
I mean, to be honest,
in literal body weight pounds, I'm 280.
pushing it through the snow, which isn't a straight path, which is added friction, and you're pushing 600 pounds away, I would definitely say it's 3 people.
I have an idea.
I mean, so do I. Can make someone a bit bigger to pick it up.
Well, I was thinking perhaps we could get Boy and Athena together, along with you two. Might help just about be enough to push it.
Yeah, Athena's quite big,
Or
isn't she?
pull it, rather.
I'll call Boy over because Boy would be used to pulling shit.
He could probably help, yeah.
So
Oh,
you
okay.
call Boy over, yeah? He comes straight over to you.
Yes.
There's still some bits of harnesses here.
I'll pick up any like. Is there any parts I could strap him to that he could like easily pull from?
As Salvation's mentioned, there are loose bits of harness that are on the floor from the polar bears. They are broken as they are been ripped and snapped, but with some amendments and some fixing and probably some improvisation, you could makeshift a pulley system.
Okay, well, I'll try and do that.
Yeah, make a... Make a... See if you can pull the parts together and you know what to do. Make an intelligence check for us.
Intelligence...
21.
got
Brilliant.
one.
With a 21, you kind of like have this, using your background of winging pretty much life, you look at these harnesses and think to yourself, actually I could strap this round. And at the moment, Boy has got a coat on, in which is pretty sturdy. He hasn't got his harnesses on, they were taken off by Keegan. But you can possibly wrap it round in a makeshift way, make it smaller. And as you think about this, you can actually make it if you wish.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep, so you do. Yeah, that'll take you, I would say, probably about 10 minutes-ish to do.
Okay. I just need to keep that track of time for my transformation as well then. So
Yep.
I've got about 40 or so minutes left.
With your
minutes.
your werewolf transformation, I would say it would take even longer. Because you do not have posable thumb. Well, you do, but you are massive.
A werewolf!
But as a form, I would say to get these straps and tighten it, it would take you a little bit longer, probably an extra 5-10 minutes, because of your huge hands and your massive form.
Can I do the straps?
Well, while I'm doing this, it'll be wise for one of you to get Athena onto there, so we don't waste any time. So I don't just go while we're like moving this.
Can I help?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, at the moment, all that's happened is Salvation has just seen Saya look at the straps and kind of like make shift, kind of like putting them together in a way which looks like a strap. So you would see this, yeah.
Oh, would you like a hand, Wolf Boy?
Don't call me that, but yes.
Okay, Wolf Boy.
I will hurt you.
Okay, I'd like to see you try. I give you a hand because your hand's too big. I thought I'd stop and watch for a minute because it was funny to watch you struggle.
I
And I'll give my hand.
I step back just to like, just whatever, like, you know.
Salvation winks.
I'm so sorry to quickly do this, but my name's not Saya.
Ah!
Oh shit! When did that happen?
Saya.
Oh, that's fine. We'll play it off as jokes. Just switch it around real quick. We'll try it.
When did that happen?
I don't know. I
don't
just
know.
realised I was in the middle.
You're absolutely right. That is.
I thought I'd misspoke. I was like, wait, what? What's going on? It's like, oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just realised going, hang on a minute.
Quickly switch it around. Thanks.
So after that technical difficulties, which is fine, we got the thing mixed up.
I'm over here now.
We got the thing mixed up. We're new, okay? Let us go. Yeah, so Saya is there, and Willow is there, and Saya is not a girl. So that's fine. We'll carry on as normal. So, as we left off very quickly, Salvation is helping Saya makeshift a harness, which you can do together, and with the help and without going out of wolf form, it will take you that full 10 minutes. So you have just knocked 5-10 minutes off the time of which it would have taken.
Cool. I'll put a note down. I'll say like 40 minutes.
You've got about 40 minutes left of wolf, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because you said it was 43. So I'll put
I would just try and drag it as far as I can.
Okay, so you want to drag it on your own?
Just, moving it whilst I got...
If you want to try and drag it on your own, make a strength check for us.
God damn, dude. You need like a natural 20 or something.
Oh wait, is he still? I don't think he's still got that guidance.
Yeah,
Is Athena tied to this at the moment, or is she not?
I thought you would have done it
she-
at the same time as they were
Jackal's
doing
currently
Boy.
dismounted her.
Yeah.
He's still waiting at the moment. She's not tied up.
Okay.
Do you want to while I'm while Sal is tying Boy up?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just waiting for you guys to sort out boy first.
I mean,
and
from the other side, you can
lead it around. And with what use of the rest of the harnessing equipment is, what I can make of it, I will attempt to tie Athena and say, "Don't worry, girl. We just need your help for a couple of minutes. It won't be long."
And what are you tying around yourself and Athena to pull? Just my interest. Have you got rope or?
Have got rope. Yep, there's rope already around Athena, which I normally use to hang on to, so I'll
That's true.
use that.
Brilliant. So you makeshift a knot, and then kind of like use the other end on. I would say, well, she hasn't got anything on, so I'm guessing you're pulling it with her. Is that right?
Yeah. I'll help her the best I can.
Yeah, because she hasn't necessarily got any bridle or saddle at the moment, so you'd just be holding it on the back of Athena.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I would say 5 minutes has gone. Sorry, did Sentry, do you want to try and push it by yourself?
Yes.
And you rolled a
I got
9.
10 with guidance, yeah.
10 with guidance. You're pushing, and it does not push.
Fine. Just keep pulling on it.
You kind of go to, you're like, pushing against it, and it kind of like, you see the tyres, or the wooden tyres. They kind of like shift, but they don't roll. They just go, and you've just budged up a load of snow in front of it.
That's
Whoa,
fine,
whoa,
I'll just keep on moving it.
Sentry, I know you're eager, but perhaps we do it on 3 altogether. Is boy tied up and ready to go?
yeah.
Is he?
So you're about 5 minutes in. If you want to make 5 minutes, that's fine. Yeah, you can go. So I would say if that's where you want to go, you'd say then the next 5 minutes is up if no one wants to do anything, and you can all try and push. So Boy is strapped up and tied up. Athena has the other end, and Sentry, I'm guessing, is at the back, trying to push.
Is there anything? Actually, no. Yeah, I'll go to the back with Sentry so I can push with them.
Yep, sure.
Well,
you can do that.
Is it really something that can be pushed, or because is it like on the map where it's like one of those things with the 2 things at the front?
Yeah,
Because
I
when the
thought-
polar bears
so
went, that
you
would have
would go
gone
like-
straight down, which means it needs lifting up and it needs pulling. If you push it, all you're going to do is push it further into the ground. So
Yeah.
really, it needs to be pulled.
So
Like everyone needs to be pulling rather than anybody pushing, because
way-
otherwise it's just going to get stuck.
The way it is at the moment, you're absolutely right. So it's like a box shape with 2 prongs at the end. Because the polar bears have been taken off, yes, it has gone slightly at an angle. The cargo is still attached to it because it's strapped on.
It was tipped. Okay.
Some ingots have fell out. So did mention that last time. So some of them have fell off, which makes it lighter, I suppose, in like the smallest sense. But the way it's going to work is that because Boy's on the end, I would say on a longer line from the harness, and then obviously Athena's quite high up anyway. And then when Sentry lifts and pushes, that should be able to do it.
Did you say some of the ingots had fallen out?
About 2 or 3 ingots fell off when.
Okay, well, in the 5 minutes of waiting, I'll have popped them on,
Yeah, that's fine.
just so we're not missing any. And then, yeah, get ready to push.
So if everyone's ready, you can definitely push it. And well, 2 of you pull in, 1 of you pushing. And if everyone's so sorry, yeah, 2 of you. So if you're helping it. So Sentry and Saya are pushing, and Jackal and Boy is pulling or are pulling. So and Athena, and you effectively manage to push it off, and it kind of like goes, and you hear the on the snow as you gain momentum and the tires start moving. And as it does, you and Athena, Jackal, are moving quite nicely with it, whereas Boy's struggling. He kind of gets lifted up at one point and then comes back down again, and he's kind of like, he's not really enjoying it. He's used to kind of moving in the snow, and you can see his paws like swimming almost. And yeah, you guys behind are just trying to keep it up. Sentry, no issue whatsoever, but you managed to push it. As Salvation points out the nook about a minute or 2 minutes out where she was, and yeah, you managed to put it into this kind of edge, and it's basically like at the edge of the mountain where it looks like an alcove, but it was covered in snow. If you was to move the snow out, it would naturally pile on the snow and cover it to some degree.
Yeah, let's do that.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Sounds like and
So you guys move it all in. Boy and Athena moving it out, and then I would say towards the end, you guys would let go and then just push the rest. So it's kind of neat against this alcove. And as you do, it comes to a stop, as obviously Willow and Salvation are following, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I'm out on the car.
Yeah, that's fine. So you're adding weight to it. Fantastic.
I'm quite light, so it's fine.
What was your weight again? Just remind me.
It's not
literal
much.
dead weight.
I am dead weight. I'm
Currently.
84 pounds.
84, that's fine. I mean, now the car is weighing 684 pounds, so
It's fine.
Light work.
it's fine.
I am sure that-
Right.
I'll just leading the way to
Luckily,
the
it wouldn't make a difference with the amount of manpower on this, so it's fine. So you guys successfully managed to put it into this alcove. The covers are, I'm guessing, strapped on and secure, and the snowfall is starting to hit it. It kind of like bounces and rebounds off the mountainside, and kind of like they're almost like mini avalanches that kind of every now and again fall on it because there's so much snow piled up. But you kind of leave it there, and you think it's safe.
Cool.
Yeah, and yeah, you guys are happy with what you've done, and you can freely do what you wish to do next.
Should we go find those missing people then?
Well, I think we need to wait for Willow to do her spell.
I forgot about that.
Whilst Willow does her spell, you see Jackal putting his ear to the floor, shuts his eyes as he's going to attempt to do his primeval awareness.
Cool.
To check if there's any humanoids, if we might be getting any kind of closer towards the guy that we're looking for.
Okay, so that was 5 miles, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, so any humanoids within 5 miles.
Okay. Do you want to just describe how you're doing it in this blistering wind and snow?
Yeah, so as soon as the cart gets put into the shelter, Jackal will unhook Athena and he will use her aid, and they will both. Athena starts to sniff around on the ground. Jackal puts his ears to the floor, his eyes going even icier white as he just sits and listens as he tries to find any kind of sound within the earth, any kind of sense, smell. He's harnessing everything to try and find anything to do with humanoids within 5 miles.
Amazing. So as you do this and your senses heighten, and it's almost like every time you do this, you can almost hear and feel heartbeats. So you can just, like everything kind of like comes to a bit of a silence. So you close your eyes, and then you kind of like everything goes from like to absolutely nothing, and then you can hear. And you can hear the heartbeats around you and the humanoid figures around you, and as you kind of focus in more and more, they become silent, and you focus your concentration further out on this wind and this blistering wind. And within 5 miles, I would say it takes you to the very end of that ability to even get like a sense of something.
Oh shit, okay, so I'm picking up something right on the cusp.
You're not even sure how far, because does it say you can see exactly where?
It says it gives me rough, but again, completely up to you, DM discretion.
Yeah, I would say obviously it's not, pinpoint. Yes, he's at coordinates there. Like you can get a sense.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't give pinpoints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more like a radius, and you can definitely tell towards the end, or the cusp of that ability that you're expelling, there is some sort of presence.
Okay. Once this is up, then Jack will come back to himself. He will stroke Athena. Good girl. Thank you. And he will announce to the group, I'm picking up some kind of life form. I can't quite tell how far. I reckon it's the blizzard. It might be messing with my senses a bit, but there's somebody out there.
No.
Oh God, then.
Just one more thing. It says you learn the emotional state and whether it's affected by magic.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know that.
And
Nice.
short term, is that right? Does it say that? It does say that, doesn't it?
Where are you reading, to be fair?
Just towards the top. Oh no, that's communication
no.
with beasts. Sorry, wrong.
Yeah,
button.
that's for beast.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's just a really long ability that you've chosen.
It
Yeah,
just reveals if the favored enemies are present, though.
that's fine.
I literally just like rough direction, rough range.
So your
and-
favorite enemy
yeah.
is humanoid. So
It
you
is,
definitely do pick up a sense of that, just on the cusp of that ability. So yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are. Where are they?
In those 10 minutes, would I be able to go back to one of those goblins and take some bones?
What kind of bones would you like to take?
Maybe like some out of the foot, some of the little metatarsals.
Oh, so you're actually going in and cutting open and searching for bones in a amputating way.
Well, less of an amputating way, more of just getting a knife and just really like jamming it in there and just.
I would say
roughly.
it
Not
would,
amputation.
it would. Okay, make a survival check if you wish to do it. And
I
what,
also
which
completely
10 minutes?
forgot I've got an exhaustion
Which 10
point.
minutes are we going on about, by the way? Which point are we doing? This?
Whilst Willow's doing her ritual.
Okay. I thought Willow was doing a ritual while she was sitting on the cart.
No,
No,
I
we
have
did
to
not
be
do it.
still.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
And what spell was that? Just so you know.
I'd be using alarm.
Oh, alarm. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Alarm.
So I'll just
13.
putting it around the cart.
Okay, so with a 13. Oh, you rolled twice because you're thinking. You go back to one of the goblin figures and you probably pick out the one that looks the most decapitated, possibly the one that was just in battle with a polar bear. And you see its form just bled out all on the snow, and there's red everywhere, there's crimson on the snow, you can see the splatter. It's getting covered up at the moment by trickles of snow, and it's just like kind of thin layer on. And you can see its torso is completely ripped from the top. So its legs are somewhere else. Just make an investigation check. As you think this is the...
Oh, if there's usable bones.
You think, coming to a conclusion,
If there's usable bones there, then.
there's no usable bones around you in terms of
Hang on.
the goblins themselves. They've just been... the goblin boss and the other one has just been slain. The other one has been ripped apart by Sayer's claws. But because they were completely destroyed, it's a matter of fact of how big do you want the bone. You can get small pieces from Sayer's kill, or you can find the legs of this one and get a full bone. Possibly.
No, like this, like just a handful that are this big.
Oh, that big? Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, cool. Forget what I just said. You go over to the one that Sayer had killed, which is in 3 pieces, by the way. So it's like stripped down the side, and you can kind of get a gist of these rib cages that have just been obliterated. And you can find a handful of bones, especially with that survival check, yeah. So you can put that into your inventory. Small bones. Small goblin bones, but put splintered as well. Obviously, they're not full.
Okay, thanks.
Just so you know, to carve off any of the other
Yeah,
bones,
I'm sure.
it may have
fine.
taken you a bit longer. Just
Oh,
that's what I was trying to get at. It may have taken you a little bit longer of time just
it
to
doesn't
kind of...
specify that needs to be complete bones. Right.
That's fine. That's cool. I don't know what you're using it for. So, yeah.
Sentry, we're talking a couple of miles away.
Well, at least we know there's no other goblins left around here. They've cleared off at least. Let's get ready to make a move on. Are you nearly done over there, Willow?
Almost. How long have I been doing it now for, roughly?
About 10 minutes.
And then I'll finish. And then it all. You see, like this very thin, almost like it's almost like an illusion of a wire around it. And then as soon as I finish, it basically comes purple, goes around the whole thing, sort of like, I don't know, LED lights if you want to think like that. And then you can't see it anymore. It's gone.
Awesome. and you've successfully set an alarm around the perimeter. How long can you do the alarm for? Does it give you a length?
It stays up for 8 hours.
In terms of the length of it, can you just do it as big as you want?
30 feet's the maximum.
30 feet's fine. Yeah.
If not, 30 feet, I could do a door, a window, or an area within range that is no longer than a 20-foot cube.
Yep, that's fine. It's way shorter than 20-foot cube.
And I'll finish up and go, well, if anything touches this, sort of like what Jacqueline can do, something will come to my head and tell me that it's been disturbed.
So yeah, just go near the perimeter.
No, because then I have to spend another 10 minutes doing it.
How close do you go to this, Saya?
Not close enough to trip it. I'm just teasing her.
Okay, that's fine. No check needed.
It's going to
Right, let's continue on then. We should get a move on. Garrett's probably freezing up there. I'll start moving.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, so you guys make your way past where you saw the polar bears to start off with. And as you kind of guys make your way over to where you saw them run off, that is the direction of where the mountain pass goes. And you come to a point of where there's kind of a T-junction, one of which goes left and then kind of comes back on itself, and then the other one goes straight up. And looking on the ground, and you would see this willow, and you'd see this jackal, and you would see this Saya. There are almost like scattering of snow going towards the back, and kind of like bigger prints, and you can kind of assume that this is where the polar bears have chased the goblins off through probably another exit somewhere down another bit of the pass. But moving forward and straight on, is that where you'd like to go?
Yeah, we don't want to go back.
Does it seem like the correct or rough direction? Because you said we're at a T-junction. Which direction seemed more towards where I got my sense?
Yeah,
He
so
said the first one went back on itself. Didn't
yeah,
he?
so it's kind of like a T-junction. One of them literally goes left, and one of them goes straight on. It's more like a Y, if you want to think of it that way.
Oh.
But yeah, you would assume it's the other one from the tracks, whereas the direction.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll keep on going on the right one then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on that one.
Cool. Yeah, you guys carry on making your way through this mountain pass, and as you go, I mean, you can kind of see now that it only was quite a small or a bit of a mountain pass. As you take about 10-15 minutes and you get to the other end of it, and it comes to another kind of open plain or a plateau, but it's kind of different now because you're starting to see more rocks and jagged edges and cliffs. And if you look straight up, because the day is quite clear and there's no longer a blizzard in the air, you can just make out where the incline starts to possibly Kelvins Cairn.
Also, how long has it been since we left the cove where we left the thing?
Are you asking about your waterfall?
Yeah.
You probably have 20 minutes left-ish.
Okay. Yeah, I just need to constantly check. I think
Yeah, it's fine.
So
It's
I
fine.
do like Mario Bros, like in the middle of like.
But what I will say is that you do see in front of you some winding paths, and almost like it's not straight paths, it's snow, but you can kind of guess where the rock edges are, and it is open here, but to get through you can kind of understand you have to go this way, and by the time you get to the other end you're going to think that 20 minutes is going to be up.
That's fine. I'm just keeping it on just in case because I can't really reactivate it. So
Yeah,
I might
that's
as
cool. That's cool. You might as well just keep it on. So, unless you guys want to do anything, you just want to follow this jagged trail.
Absolutely.
Cool. Can I have your marching order, please?
well. Wait, did you say there wasn't as much of a blizzard just then?
Yeah. So you can see 60 feet in front of you. There's no.
Okay,
blizzard.
I'll look over the jackal. I said, didn't the blizzard mess up your senses when you were trying to track that humanoid? Why not try again since the blizzard's gone down?
I can most certainly see if I can get a better direction now that we're closer. Is everyone okay to hang on 1 minute?
Good for me.
Are you able to do it on the move?
No, I'm afraid I need the time just to acknowledge my surroundings.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah, just
Izzy's connection died.
stop there.
There she is.
Alright.
That's all right.
Hey.
Oh, it's only
Uh,
a second. You can
Jackal,
do
just
I'm doing it all there.
just finish off what you're saying.
I'm afraid I can't. I need the time just to analyze my surroundings. It needs to be in a little strict area.
that. How long will this take?
Only a minute, or roughly so. Just need some time to get a sense of what's around me.
Well, let's
We've got time.
go a bit further on, and then that way we can hopefully get more of a accurate read on exactly what it may be.
The sign when we do the next check is when I transform back. Because that'll be about 20 minutes.
Yeah, and that way would be like a lot further than where we are.
Yeah. We've gone through the bit that you were talking about before, Fraser, right? In 20 minutes?
Yes. So I was going to say, at this point, if you guys aren't doing anything, are you doing your ability, Jackal, or are you carrying on?
I'll carry on.
Okay.
I'll just be on a thing of carrying on.
I would say you're at the cusp of like 5 to 10 minutes towards the out of your wolf form, and you can kind of feel it as it starts to go. You get the sensation of becoming weaker, but not in yourself, just the form itself dropping. But as you get closer towards the end of this path, you see Boy is just nose to floor, and he starts running.
Where
What do you guys do?
I start running.
Can I get your marching order before this happens?
I'll be in the middle.
I'll
Just
be
so
at
I
the
know.
back.
I'll be at the front because I'm just like, fuck boy! Because I'm
So-
like really.
I'm in the middle.
Say a front. Who's next?
I will be.
Jackal next.
Me.
Willow next.
Me.
So, yeah, and that leaves Salvation. Okay, cool.
Hello.
As long as I'm in the middle, I don't care.
I like get
have
on all
to
fours.
Saya, this
Language.
dog has started bolting at 40 feet. Are you following?
Yes. I'll try and like shout out to him, just get his attention, just see if he would listen to me.
Okay, yeah, make an animal handling check for me.
20.
20.
Yes, finally.
So
Finally!
with a 20, and with this connection that you guys have had over the last few days, you shout his name in a very familiar way, in which his form kind of goes out of the 60-foot radius, and you see it just kind of like fade into this kind of snowy. It's like a blizzard, but it's dust, and you can see it picking up. But about a minute passes, and you're running and following, and about a minute passes, and you see nothing, and then his figure comes back, and you hear him bark, and he comes straight back to your side.
Oh fucking god! I thought I lost boy. Okay.
He just sits there in the snow, looks at you, wags his tail, and then kind of like turns around, and you can see him about to go again. What are you doing?
Okay. I'll kind of hold onto his. I'm assuming he has like a collar or something.
He has a
on,
collar,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll quickly get a hold just in case he does bolt off.
Okay.
So I got a hold of him. I'll like kneel down next to him because I'm assuming I would have like transformed back at this point.
At this point, your form would have dropped, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll kneel down next to him, and I'll be like, if you're going to show us something, go our speed, okay?
He just kind of gives you a.
All right, I think we should follow boy guys. He seems to have picked up something.
Okay.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
are you holding Boy at this point?
Well, I'll check if everyone's ready to like start moving before I let go of him because I probably know that as soon as I let go, he's just gonna like start leading us.
So you kind of do that awkward dog owner run where you're holding the collar and running at the same time.
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. So, yeah, you can do that. That's not a problem. And you all can now run at your own pace, which is, I'm guessing, 30 feet for most of you.
Me, it's 40.
For you, it's 40. But yeah, sorry, Jackal, you got to slow down to keep the rest up. Unless you want to go on, it's completely up to you. But you guys are now running with Boy. And Boy has his nose to the ground constantly. And you can hear him go... like, constantly just sniffing and sniffing.
Can I also use a smell perception check to see if I can smell what he's smelling?
Yeah,
maybe?
go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Make a perception check. And
pretty cool.
anybody else? In fact, all of you make a perception check. See what
Well, I'll get an advantage on this one because it's a smell one.
Too many cables.
I got a 25.
25, fantastic.
Whoa,
20 as
whoa.
well.
Perception, was it?
Yes,
Everyone,
perception.
or just-
Yeah,
Everyone perception, yeah.
17.
Hold on. That's
It's not bad rolls for everyone, actually.
Really good rolls, guys. Really good rolls.
Woohoo! 10.
So
Sorry to let slide down.
that's
16 for
fine.
me.
I would say Sentry and Saya, you guys pick up probably what everyone else is passing, and you're wondering why they're not looking at it. And you look to your left, and you can see where you're walking is like it's like a cluster. It's peppered of rocks, but then there's this other to the left. It's like a small path, and it looks like it's been traversed in, and it is going in the same direction perpendicular to where you're walking. And Saya and Sentry only see this.
So there's a path to our left.
So you've got your bit of snow, which in front of you, blanket of snow, not touched.
Yep.
To your
And
left,
Boy isn't noticing this either. He's not noticed that there's been like.
Boy is locked onto a scent. What
Okay.
you guys see, just you guys, is this like line of turfed snow. It's been unturfed. You can see it's been broken, and it is going in a line in the same direction.
Directly opposite where ours is.
It's
Yeah.
perpendicular.
Should we move
Focus
across
on what we're
to
doing
there?
right now?
So do you see the same thing I do?
Yeah, but it seems Boy's pretty locked on to what he's smelling.
Maybe if we
I think we'll
bring him
just-
over here, if he seems as though he needs to veer off, we'll go off the path. But till then, it'll be easier for Willow and Salvation to traverse on.
I suggest we be ready and aware. Remember, there might be a Yeti roaming around these parts.
Yeah, just stay on guard, guys.
And just so the smell side of things,
Yes.
you with your nat 20, you get a sense that it's from so far this cold weather just smells the same. It smells of cold. There's no natural scent. You know the smell of cold. Everyone's been out in it. You can just smell cold, but it starts to get a bit musky, like boy smell musky, and you can smell it coming in from the distance, just so faintly.
It smells like the same smell as Boy,
Yes.
like other dogs. So this could be our man.
Or his own trail back from wherever he came from.
If
Yeah.
not, it could be
Yeah, at
the other
least the trail.
dogs that
If
he's
it's not him, it's
run
at least-
away.
But where it's promising, I suggest we keep pressing on.
I will say that to the guys.
I was going to say,
that.
only you know that at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah, I will. I'll tell that.
You'll relay that
That's why-
You
information.
were saying it out loud anyways, what you were saying.
So you guys follow Boy's scent, and you guess at this point, say that Boy has picked up the scent that you've picked up. And you are now going in the same direction. And it takes you, and if you guys want to do anything else, just let me know. But it's now taking you on the next 15 minutes. And there's still this kind of peppered rocks everywhere. And they get this track, and you can still see the trail perpendicular to you. And I'm guessing at this point you've pointed it out? The rest of the party, or are you guys just...
Yeah, we'll have.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah.
So you guys all can see this now to the left of you. It's perpendicular to where you are, and at some points it crosses over where you go and then crosses back. So it's like almost on your path, and you can see that possibly that these are footfalls that someone recently has made, or something.
Can I... Oh, no, never mind.
And another 20 minutes pass. And
Footfalls or a track like people with shovels have cleared it.
yeah, so you know what it looks like when someone's trying to walk through snow. There's no footfalls, there's not footsteps, it's just turf. It's like a dent, like a U. It's like a cutout. There's nothing obvious of what it is. It's not like a line or a footprint. It's just a unsheathed land kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, you can definitely see this, and you get the sense that you're following this now. And the next 20 minutes go on, and for you, Saya, the scent gets stronger and stronger and stronger until And I would say, again, Sentry, Saya, and Willow would hear this. In the distance, you start to hear...
Doggos.
Does Athena hear it as well? By
Oh
the
yeah,
way.
Athena got really good, didn't
Athena
Right.
would... Athena's ears are like this, like moving around.
Nice. Okay.
Is boy reacting to the?
Absolutely. He goes from like sniffing to the ground to trying to get out of your grasp now, Saya.
I kind of want to make it if I used my like hearing ability, like one like singular dog ear comes up, even if I'm in human form, just.
Saya, make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, okay. Dexterity saving throw. 17.
17. Boy bolts forward and almost you let go of the collar but grab it with the other hand and pull it back, but he is still trying to get forward. What are you doing?
I'll try and calm him down with animal handling, I suppose.
Yeah, try and calm him down again. Use that animal handling check. See what you can do.
Sorry, perhaps let him go. It seems like
We'll
he
follow
really
him
is trying
instead.
We might lose him.
With a 16, he's still going. He's still pulling. There is no...
He's still pulling. Jesus. All right.
We'll follow in his stead.
Can I see? I've got to remember which ability it is. I think it's my primeval awareness. I get to I've the innate ability to communicate with beasts, and they recognize you as a kindred spirit. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas to a beast as an action. I can read its basic mood and intent, and its emotional state.
Okay, so how far was that, sorry?
It's just on boy, so I'm looking at boy.
Okay, so you're doing it
And-
on boy, yeah. So you can get his emotional states.
I can. So basic mood, it's his intent. So what his intent is,
Okay.
and emotional state.
So you kind of like do exactly the same as what you used to, and you're almost feeling a different vibration into this animal, and you get the sense of two words that come straight into your head as a sensation: is urgency and go.
Okay.
So I think you should let him go, and then we'll approach with caution.
Similar to the feeling that when you met him, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right.
Um,
I'll just like
Jackal.
sigh and release his.
Okay, and you release his collar, and he just goes, and you just
Yeah.
see in
We'll
the
go running after him.
in the distance. Yeah, you guys are running after him. I would say
Yeah.
Athena can keep pace. If you want to keep pace, the rest of you will be shortly behind.
Yeah, I'll keep
Yeah,
pace,
that's fine.
but make sure don't completely lose boy.
Okay, and with no time at all, it takes you 2 or 3 minutes, if that. And Jackal, what you see is very slowly 2 pitched tents in a snow nearing an icy outcrop that acts as a natural windbreaker. Between these tents is an overturned sled. Still harnessed to the sled are 5 howling dogs.
Overturn sled.
Yes.
Instantly draw my bow.
Okay. What would you
How
like to
far
do?
away are we from?
So you guys
Jackal?
aren't that far behind. Jackal's just made it, and you can just see Jackal's just stopped, and you guys have easily caught up.
Okay. Would we be able to see the sled by now then?
You all now see this kind of like windbreaker of these tents, and just further on, you can see this sled that these dogs are now howling and barking by. And Boy is right by these dogs, licking one of them and nuzzling his face in, and they all crowd around him.
Do you see something, Jackal?
The sled's overturned and the dogs are howling. I don't know whether they've picked up boy's scent or if there's something much darker in the midst here.
Make a nature
Um,
check, Jackal, for me.
Nature. Oh, not my specialty. -1.
Okay,
Oh,
never mind.
again, by looking at the other dogs with again the primeval awareness feat, do I get any kind of distress from them, or do they seem happy?
So this is interesting. So do you want to use the primeval awareness on the other dogs?
Yes.
Okay.
This isn't a thing, by the way, that takes a minute to do. The first part, I can literally just look at it and sort of understand it. It's the second part which takes a minute.
So you look at these dogs individually, and the word that associates that with this emotion is friend, happiness, brother, lost friend.
Okay. Jackal will slightly lower his bow.
I'm going over to the overturn sled.
Okay, you make your way over, and as you do, Sentry, you can now see that this kind of like tents are kind of like almost unpitching themselves and hasn't been tended to or reset in the ground. And by these, are you going straight over to the cart, to the Overton sled?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make an investigation check for us.
After that, can I have a look inside the tents?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do too. Did you say
I
there were
will
2
help
tents? right?
out.
2 tents, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll look.
13.
There I go.
Yeah, with a 13, I mean, without the investigation, you can see coming straight up to it, you can see that there's some cargo tipped off from this sled. And you can see that one of the box or crates is shut and one of them has fell open. And on the floor, you can see almost very familiar to what you guys carry on you, which are rations and dried meats and things. And it's almost empty. The box is almost gone. And you would assume that this is what the dogs have been eating to keep themselves alive.
Yeah, I'll help either Say or Sal, depending which tent they go to help them investigate, see what's going on, see if it's actually been used within the last couple of days, I'd say.
Just more so on the investigation, just with the 13, you do see the harnesses are trapped under the sled, and you can now see the end of the harness that Boy was attached to.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just lift up the sled, put it upright.
Yeah, I would say you don't need to make any checks for that. It's just a wooden sled with a few crates on. So as you do, the dogs kind of like look at you and start jumping up you and scratching you and doing that thing where they very excited to see you.
No.
Doggy.
And they're continuing to howl. There's a more of a howling kind of competition between them now. Very, very loud. So they're all going, "Howl! Hoo!"
Is there anything in the tents, guys?
I'll walk over to one of the tents and have a
Okay.
have a
Yeah,
look.
I'll be
I would
okay
like
with the other.
both of you who are in the tents make 2 investigation checks, please. Well, 1 investigation checks. Unless
I'll
one
go.
of you-
I'll ask that you come help me.
Unless if you're
I'll
happy.
go in the other tent then. If they're investigating one, I'll investigate the other.
Oh no, I'm in another one to say.
Oh right, I'll go with.
Can you help me?
I'll go with Sal. I
Please.
don't want to favoritism. Okay.
Yeah, but I have disadvantage, so if you help me, it'll just make it a
Oh.
straight roll.
I got a 15
A 15, okay.
in my investigation.
Oh, for
But
And a 22 and a 3.
3.
Fantastic. So I was.
Willow, help me! I'm blind.
So I will say, both of you, or let's say Saya walks in to the first tent, and this tent is barely pitched to the ground at the moment. So you can clearly see that it hasn't been tended to, and it would need to. One of the spokes is flapping out, and the bit of tarp's coming out as well. As you kind of get closer to this, you can see now there's bedrolls in here and very basic supplies, and it's all on the floor. Like, this thing has been knocked over a few times, and with you guys in the other tent, exactly the same. Just debris of bedrolls and small supplies.
what supplies? What kind of supplies?
So we're talking like there's a few. Well, actually, I would say that Willow, you do find a map of Icewind Dale. So
Oh.
add that into your inventory.
Yay.
Say
That's
you find nothing in sense of that would help. You find compasses and pens and parchment and quills and things like that, not pens.
Extra strings for my loot, no joke.
Just basic explorer gear.
Yeah.
That you would assume that someone was making notes. There's no necessary journal. There is just scattered bits that you would assume explorers would take with them.
With a 22, would I be able to see how long the space has been abandoned for exactly? Like,
not with
roughly?
investigation. I mean, you're just having a look round. If you want to see how long this has been kind of gone for, I would say you have to do a thorough check and probably using maybe some sort of intelligence. So you can do that and roll an intelligence check.
I'll probably do the same, just in case.
I got an 11.
11. So realistically, looking around, I mean, because it's so cold and all the food and things you see here, normally preserved quite well because it's frozen, you would assume that maybe a few days from the looks of things and the way it's gone.
Would I assume anything different from that?
Say you get the same.
Okay. Right.
Whilst they're in the tents, can I just have a look around with Athena outside for any kind of further tracks, any kind of further leadings?
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check. And while you're doing this, Jackal, all the dogs are like thrashing around and trying to get out of their bindings. They're almost choking themselves to try and get out.
Okay, we won't do the investigation then. If I'm seeing that, I will go over and I will try, because I can communicate very basic ideas with other animals. I will try my best to calm them down.
Yeah, and your senses, is that passive if you look at an animal, or do you have to look into them?
It doesn't actually say, so I've put it in the chat several times now. But
yeah,
I'll put
it just says that a beast that you recognise kindred spirit through sound and gestures. You can communicate simple ideas. You learn emotional state, whether it's affected by magic. So I would say this anyway, because you've already attuned to it in a way, like quotas. You would get the sense from the look on its eyes and the look of urgency. You're getting the sense that it wants to go somewhere, and you get the first word or the emotion that you feel is home.
Okay, I will try my best to communicate. Whether it's going to work with it, I'm just going to approach the dogs gently. I'm going to kneel down to them with Athena by my side. I'm going to say, soon.
Okay, make an animal handling check.
It's a 22.
Yeah. As soon as you say that and they see the presence of Athena, they kind of all come from like thrashing around to like they kind of all sit in unison and just look at you.
And I'll just spend that time until the others are ready, just looking after them.
And they all kind of like lie down at this point now as well. Kind of like Boy at this point has dragged a few more supplies from the back and kind of dragged it forward, and they're all like munching on some dried meats. So they're busy in their own way. But Boy has definitely learnt the way of possibly pack survival in this tundra.
My calming presence, Jackal, has made the dogs chill out. Is there anything else?
It's the break century. They're drooling over it.
Is there anything else on the sled? Any blood or anything to show?
From first inspections, it has got a pile of snow on it. And just having a look round, because you get the sense of very similar that Willow have seen, that it's been a few days since seen any action in this small encampment. And you can't see any blood necessarily, unless you want to go thoroughly searching for it.
Yeah.
Okay, make an investigation.
Anything to lead me to believe where Garret might have gone.
Okay.
Investigation or survival, did you say, story?
Either for you.
Okay. Let's go survival. 7.
Kind of dusting off the snow off the sled and moving things around. All you're getting is snow on snow. You can't really gain much or see any sort of evidence of struggle or perhaps someone getting hurt.
Did you find anything in the tents? Is everything okay in there?
I mean, this might help us, and I'll get out the map.
Yeah. And what you see before you, Sentry, is a kind of rolled up, almost kind of coated, waxed, weather-protected map of Icewind Dale. And you would see this as completely changed. Like the way you thought, because it's got little markings, and on further inspection, Willow, you can see the markings of the towns you've written down, and the way that Sentry has written them down is completely wrong. The spellings are different. And now you know how to. You now know how to spell them with DM's help. And you see other parts of the Dale, and you kind of see that this possibly been written recently. And because you kind of get a guess that it says things like blizzard and snowscape and tundra. And from the information you gathered from the city folk or village folk, it's only been a few years this has happened. And where you are now, you can see Caer Konig, Kelvins Cairn, and to the west side, you see places like Lonelywood and Mare Doolan and Targos and Bryn Shander. And then to the south, you see places such as Easthaven and Goodmead and Dugan's Hole. Places you never really you don't associate with anything, but for some reason you now know places and names of different places. And you see inscribed, you see 10 towns as well, and the trail of which you all, and you would see this, well, Sentry, you wouldn't really understand it, but the spine of the world where the mountain range is, you now get a sense of where each of you has possibly come from in a direction. It's quite
it's that big.
Quite bewildering. Yeah, this map is a decent sized map for miles and miles.
Will I be able to see where she came from on that?
It kind of ends at the spine of the world, and you would be able to see your entrance to us, but that's it.
On the map as well, is there any markings at all as to any clues for where Garret may have gone? As in here's a good spot to climb. I should go here next. X marks the spot.
This map you have now is more of a ordnance survey map, not an exploration treasure hunt map. So you would assume this is what you get given as a collaborative piece for the whole or majority of 10 towns in Icewind Dale.
I think would it be worth, Jackal, you to do your ability again now?
Might be able to pinpoint.
If everyone's ready to move out, then I can definitely do it. But I've got a connection with all the dogs here, and I've got an urgency to go somewhere.
Looking at the words today, what they're attached to.
Sled.
There you go. Thank you. Is it broken in any way?
The sled itself is damaged. I wouldn't say it's broken. It's just slightly splintered in places. Not like destroyed, if that's what you guys think.
Well, should we take the dogs with us? Because at least they'll be able to help.
100%. They definitely seem like they want to go somewhere.
Don't see why not.
We got trackers at the end of the day.
Do you
Extra hands
know
on deck.
where they are wanting to go? Are they wanting to go to Garret?
Did I get any kind of vibe of where they wanted to go, or was that too much?
The two vibes of where they wanted to go and their urgency or intention, one was hungry, two was home.
They all seem to be feeling different things. It seems like they definitely have been left here for a while. Some of them wish to go home, which could be all the way back where we came, or could be back to the guy that we're looking for. They might think of him as home. I'm not
Are you
too
able
sure.
to ask them if they saw where he went?
I can only vaguely give them very brief, like one-word things, Willow. Afraid I won't be able to do that.
We'll see if there's any other tracks around this area.
Everyone make a
I'll
perception
let the dogs loose.
check for me while you're doing that.
Got a
And
50.
I'm gonna cut the dogs loose if no one's got any.
Fiend.
Okay, so you cut the dogs loose. It's easy to do because these these kind of like leathers have been half chewed, so it doesn't take as much as the harness that you found earlier for the polar bear. And within no time at all, you let them loose one by one, and they all sprint off in the direction of you came. Boy has continued to stay with you, but the rest of them
Definitely.
have gone.
That's fair.
5.
It looks like they were going to other home.
I'm sure he'll be safe.
Yeah. Do
They know
you
them.
not want to send Boy with his pack, Sayer?
That's up to him.
Don't we need him with
I'm gonna
us to
look
be
at
able to
Boy and then
step
try
out
and
of
read
that?
his intent. If he wants to stay or go.
Yeah, it's up to him.
Okay. He
I literally just
He's-
started saying the same thing.
his reaction to them going was like kind of like a and then he kind of stayed, and then his nose went to the ground, and then he looked up towards a direction of which Willow and Sentry now see is a very rough kind of way around this kind of like 20-foot bit of rock, but round the right hand side as it curves up, it looks like a path, and that's where Boy's looking.
Hmm.
Let's go.
Curious.
Well, should
Yeah.
we get going?
Oh, sorry, Athena would have pointed this direction as well. Absolutely.
Just
So, in fact, I would say Athena is actually starting to walk towards this direction. If you want to go with it.
Guys, it looks like Athena's picked up a trail somewhere as well, and I will immediately jump back on Athena and be ready to go.
Okay, cool. You jump back on.
Alright, I'll start making my way that way and see what Boy does if he wants to come with us and go with his pack. It's up to him. I can't
Okay.
control what he does.
Cool.
Just as we're going, does clutching at the going over the bear claw marks across the my metal physique. Does anybody have anything to give me a little pick me up? The bear gave me a little bit more of a claw than a bear hug.
Oh, yes, of course. That's not.
I only need something small. Don't put yourself out. If it'll put you out, then leave it. I can continue on.
No, he's fine. And I go to him and touch his shoulder and cast Cure Wounds at first level.
Yep, that's fine.
Oh, 8 healing.
8 healing. And then onto your
Eight.
HP. Can everybody see the map on
Nice.
the screen?
I
We're
can't
currently
know.
where we were before with the goblins.
Same.
Interesting.
Please take a
I
break.
would say this is a great area to take a break while we set up the next bit. So we'll take a few minutes and see you soon.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Stop recording there.
So welcome back, and thank you for waiting with us on the break, even though you don't, and it just snaps over, but hey, we wait. So what the guys should be seeing now is a map. Can everyone see the map?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a map of where you're at, but it is a smaller version. So this is like a minute map. So the spaces are bigger, if that makes sense. So it's not like you're huge and this mountain's really tiny. Like you are. This is just a placement and a reference of where you're at. So this is the base of the mountain, and as you are in the camp, the X represents where the camp is. So this is the start of the camp. If you look up and just towards the past the camp, you can now start to see that these rocks that you are walking and traversing through are now beginning to layer and layer and layer. And you can see that this is the start of the steeper parts of this mountain. So at present, this is where you're at with the red X. Obviously, I'm not going to put all your placeholders there, but I've put in your placeholders so you can kind of get an idea of where you might want to go. And obviously, I'll guide you through the journey on towards the top of this mountain.
Does it look as though we can walk up it, or it needs climbing?
So, you guys have just started to make your way from the base camp. Am I right? So, Athena's first with Jackal. Who's first? Can I get your marching order? Sorry, just so I know.
I'll be in the middle.
I'll take front again.
Yeah, so Jackal, you're starting anyway because Athena's moved on.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, who's next?
I'll go second, I guess.
Say it. Who's next?
Me.
Who's me?
Willow.
Willow. Sorry, I can't hear through voices. Willow, so who's next out of Salvation and
Salvation, you
Sentry?
go in front. Thank you for the hill that has closed up the scrapes. And you go in front. I'll help anyone if they start to tumble.
Amazing. Cool. So, yeah, you can start to walk up this. It's not flat by any means. It is very steep, and we're talking almost 45-degree angles at this point. And the start of the trek goes up to... Oh, okay, give me a sec. We shall wait for Sal to come back into the real world.
Yeah. I suppose she said that she got
Pause. You can actually pause on OBS, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. We don't need to pause.
It's fine. You can snip that bit. You have to do work.
Oh, you might want to move your... I'm not sure if it's picking it up or if it's your signal, but...
Hello?
Yeah, okay.
Hey, that's okay. Yeah, no, it wasn't picking it up before. You were like...
Dumb.
Oh, okay. It just keeps dropping out. I'm sorry. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
So, the way in which you're going at the moment, this is where you're at. Hold a moment. Hold your phone. And this is where you are starting to go. This is where the map starts to... Or the layout starts to become much steeper. And you can see like a winding up part of the mountain in which you could start to traverse on if you wish.
Yeah, definitely go that way.
Yep. Which is the only way up, which Athena has seen and which Boy has pointed out. At this point, Boy is still by your side, Seer.
Yep.
And you guys start to make your way up towards the start of the peak of this mountain. At the moment, you can kind of gather that as you've been traveling, you've been unconsciously been going upwards, and your altitude has definitely risen. And all of you are starting to feel very cold. Obviously, you without any sort of cold resistance. Not to the point of bone chilling, but it is getting to the point of where it's becoming unbearable. Are you guys carrying on, or just doing anything else, or what would you like to do?
Can someone check the crystal?
Yeah, I'll take out the thermometer.
Yeah, so you take out the thermometer. It's called the thermometer, well, that's canon. You have got a thermometer, yes.
Thermometer. Yeah, I'll check it. What does it look like?
Okay, so you bring out the thermometer, and what it looks like is, at the moment, you brought it out at the start. If you remember leaving the Dwarven Valley,
yeah,
you kind of got like a sense of a blue-green. It's kind of starting to go dark blue, where now it is purely dark blue.
Okay, a little bit more chilly.
Yes.
Minus 31, minus 60.
And I will now say, guys, it is starting to become a little bit darker than normal.
Going to cast a resistance on myself.
Okay. What does that do again? Just want to see. Someone know?
I get an extra D4 on saving throws.
Ace. And who's got a point of exhaustion so far? I think it was just Salvation, wasn't it? Brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, not cool, but cool.
I'm so fucked.
It's super cool.
We have been rolling all the ability checks with normal, so I'll just keep that in mind that you have made so far with a point of exhaustion.
No.
Rolling twice.
Oh, have you?
She's
You've been taking the
yeah,
full?
she's got the better one
I-
of the two. Usually.
Corrected myself of the first couple because I remembered I had it, and I've been rolling twice.
It's just me.
I've been
Though.
rolling
I've just
with
been giving you. I've
substances.
just been giving you great rolls. It's fine. I've been taking time. This call from this point on. I will remember. It's fine. Unfortunately for you. So you guys carry on. Would you like to do anything? Obviously, you've taken the crystal out. Saya has seen this now. He's starting to turn to a darker blue color.
Yeah. I'll let everyone know the color of it. And if no one else has anything to do, we might as well carry on.
Yeah.
I put the lantern around Fina's neck again, like a cowbell kind of style thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You've...
I'm just checking for any.
Fina does have dark vision, though, by the way.
Say again.
Fina does have dark vision.
Does have dark vision.
Should be guiding.
Fantastic.
I'm just checking for any tracks or any signage of Garret or anyone else who may have been this way or anything.
Okay, brilliant.
I'll draw my blade because I had right at the flame from the last battle that we were in, so it would be on.
Okay, I would say you guys start to make it towards the ascent of this mountainside, and it takes you a little while to get up. And by the time you reach the start or the top of this peak, or the first peak, it takes you about 20 minutes. And by the time you reach the top, the light has pretty much gone from the day, and you can assume it is now the 4-hour mark. And everyone make a perception check for us.
Perceptione.
Perception, please.
10.
I got 21.
24.
Act.
For our German viewers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Athena got a nat 20 with a 24.
So Athena, Jackal,
Gross.
and Saya, you would all see above you a flash of green and blue. And it takes the rest of you a little bit longer to look at it because you're struggling to make your way up and climb this first little peak. But you all stand on the first ledge of this start of the mountain. And
Oh, he's alright.
There she is.
you all stand in the ledge at the start of this mountain, and you kind of all look up. And like I said, Jackal and Athena and Saya, you are the first to see this, followed by obviously Willow and Sentry. You look up, and it is a beautiful blue-green ripple of colour and dancing motions in the sky.
Aurora Borealis.
What you said.
I got a 20 somehow.
Yeah, you all see it. You absolutely all see it. It just takes you some
I
of
got
you
a
longer
nat
than
20.
some of the others.
One
I
of
mean,
them as well.
a great 20, but I mean, to see Aurora Borealis, I mean, could have been in the fight. Let's
Go on, it's worth it. You gotta see some pretty sight.
This part of the country, totally within
Pretty
DMP.
lights.
So you definitely all see this. You guys do anything, or are you carrying on?
This is the
Just to
time.
confirm back, this is when the full moon happens, where people believe that the Frost Maiden is putting the curse back over the land, isn't it?
Everybody make a history check.
Because it's in my notes. 13?
9.
That one.
You still put it down.
Jackal don't remember shit.
This is quite a low DC, so you'd be good to know.
Jekyll.
The one past
it.
5.
We're all dumb as hell.
So, Willow and Sentry, you do remember, and you kind of think back to the days, especially when Sentry started to regain life and start walking among the living again. And Willow, you kind of think to yourself on your travels, and a lot's happened between now and a few days ago, and you've only really seen this recently or paid attention to it, but you would assume higher in the mountains this is a lot more visible. But in the hustle and bustle, and when you start to go in taverns and hunker down, this has happened every single night.
Yeah.
Cool.
But now you're high up and you can see very clearly this beautiful array of blues and greens just ripple across the sky. Only for a minute.
Will come out onto my head and my horns and start looking, and you know when cat's eyes go really wide, you can see the reflections. That's what's happening.
It's just like, oh.
Oh man, it's like the shadows of our
Oh,
characters.
he has catnip. That's what he looks like.
Character artwork. Someone make it. Anyway.
Yeah, look at everyone looking up at the Aurora Borealis. It was cool as hell.
Oh.
You say it's up for only a brief minute. Does it fade from one side to the other?
It kind of like blankets the whole sky. More so in closer places, so directly upwards it's more powerful. Towards the horizon it kind of fades a little bit. But it literally is for literally a minute, and it goes and it goes.
When it goes, sorry, is it just it all disappears, or does it disappear from like the right side to the left?
Almost like a trickling of wave effect, so it kind of like goes and it like goes woo, and it vanishes like that.
Okay.
Not with the sound effects.
No,
You don't hear a woo in the sky every night.
Woo! Whistling wind, yeah.
You guys stare at this, and it is now.
I enjoyed the visuals though.
It is now nightfall. Are you guys carrying on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, carry on going.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are.
I'm just gonna say that anytime I start to feel a real chill, I'm gonna cast resistance on myself, just because it only lasts a minute.
Okay. The next leg of your journey starts to begin, and you make it. I would say this now takes you with Jackal in the lead. Are you still leading, Jackal?
Yes.
Okay. This is now taking you another hour to get to where your next point, and you kind of like walking on, and it's now obviously darker, and you're just following this scent of boy, as he's got his nose continuously to the ground still as you've been walking, and just hoping that he finds something. But you kind of come to this next bit, and you would see this quite clearly in front. The howling winds blow snow, and slippery ice makes the climb treacherous ahead. You see 4 mountain goats perched on a large rock formation around you, which you must navigate. What do you do?
I'm going to pull out my bow, but instead of hitting one of the goats, I'm going to aim for the floor to try and startle them.
Okay.
Aww.
Make a. So what are you trying to do? You're trying to hit the floor with an arrow.
Yeah, like as close as I can to the goat without actually hitting it, just so it startles them.
Okay.
You don't wanna
Make a. Make a dexterity check for him, please.
Dexterity
Just a
check.
straight check, yeah.
That's a 12.
Okay.
Oh.
Pause for a sec.
I'm well pissed off about it.
So, what did you get on your check? So you got 12. So
12.
with a 12, you aim for. I mean, you've got 4 goats, 2 of which are closer to you, and 2 of which are behind, in more like a square shape.
I'll definitely be aiming for the closer ones and hope that they run the opposite way, taking the other goats with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you kind of make this shot, and as you shoot it out, it's quite difficult to see because obviously you can only see about 20 feet in front of you, and these goats are quite close. But it's not a hard shot, and you do hit the floor, and they're staring right at you. And as soon as you let your bow loose, it goes, and they just stare straight at you.
So it
I get
doesn't hit the floor,
Athena
does it?
to roar at them.
Okay, you get Athena to roar. Make a performance check for Athena. Or no, actually, intimidation for Athena, if you can.
Intimidation. What's intimidation come under? Charisma.
I believe.
Jesus. Oh my god!
Oh, nice!
20!
Just over the DC you needed. Wow. Okay. Yeah, with a nat 20, with a 19, Athena steps proudly onto one paw and kind of like bells up for this roar, and it just shatters through this kind of smaller cavern. And you see the goats just turn and they bolt.
Yes. I'm gonna be like, snuffing Athena, being like, "And a girl."
She kind of like looks at you and gives you a bit of a nudge. And as you saw the goats, they're kind of like mountain goats. And I don't know if you guys have seen mountain goats, but they hop from different rocks. They don't run, they go boing, boing, boing.
They just defy all means of
Yeah.
law of physics, standing on like nothing at the edge of a mountain. Yeah.
All sorts of gravity hacks right there, which is fun.
Goats are the wizards of animal.
I would say, I would absolutely say that. That's you're not wrong. Don't worry, I've just crossed you all out, just for fun. You're all dead. And you safely managed to traverse past the dangerous goats, which were in your way. In which actually don't, one of them kind of like tries to jump off, and as they do, it slides down on its bum and kind of like scootles away because it was so scared. The rest of them just follow suit, and they disappear into the dark.
The most dangerous thing we have faced this session are fucking
Goats.
Not the goat.
As you guys
I'm afraid
continue
no goats.
down the pass, another 20 minutes pass, and you see no more goats, and you're kind of like walking through with your lit magical means or lanterns, looking at the floor, and Boy's still got his nose to the ground. And then Boy suddenly kind of stops, and hundreds of feet up the mountain, you come to a glistening white expanse of snow, what you can see. And as you get about halfway across it, you kind of like, Boy looks up and you hear, and a very deep what do you do?
As in like an avalanche.
Do I know what it is?
Everyone make a, or in fact, who said that? Was it say it. So yeah, make an intelligence check for us.
Oh, intelligence check. Okay. Did it do it? Why did it? Why did I do it? I clicked it. Why is it not doing it? There we go. No, 9.
A 9. With a 9,
We've all heard this. Sorry.
you would have all heard this. And
Then
initially, yes.
Yeah, you said everyone.
So for the initial, kind of like creaking noise, you kind of like think, and then the sailor like looks up and goes, not quite sure what that is. Everyone can make a check if you wish. Intelligence.
Yeah.
I got the exact same. What the fuck?
Ah, welcome to the 9 Club.
Yay.
I just have persistence.
Hey,
Please, someone get it.
I don't think I'm
Up to
going
the 2
to.
club.
I can try.
I'm pulling out the climber's kit, and I'm slamming down pittons to.
Nice.
Thanks, Mike.
That's what we needed.
Nope. It's a 4. I have disadvantage.
Okay, so
Not sure if I can make a trip whilst I'm doing the pittons. I'm just gonna do the pittons.
so you're going to get your climber's kit out, and
Yeah, and just slam pittons down so I can attach myself to them and anchor myself down.
okay. So at the moment, beneath you is just pure snow. I'm guessing you're going to find a rock to do that on, something solid.
Yeah, is there? I thought that there was.
Yeah, there's like scattered
face-
rocks and rock faces. So you just said straight down, whereas I'm guessing you mean on the side of a rock possibly or something. Straight down is snow.
Yeah.
So you find the nearest rock and you slam your climber's kit into it. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, put the pins on ends, and that way I can anchor myself down.
Okay. So what are you trying to do? You just holding there with your and then waiting?
What? No, pins
Yeah.
in, anchored.
Got you. That's fine.
In.
Cool. Is anybody else doing anything? Well, everybody sees Sentry brace into this rock.
I'm gonna look around, see if I can see anything.
Okay. And a few Go on. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm going to grab, knowing that there's something bad's going to happen.
Okay.
Renee's going to grab onto Sentry's leg.
Okay.
I'm just going to grab onto whatever I have nearby, and I'm going to cast resistance on myself because I don't think you heard me last time I said it.
Oh, I did, and
okay.
You needed a D4 on a check. Is that right?
It's a D4 on a saving throw.
On a saving throw. I haven't ever told you to make a saving throw recently.
No, but it's just in case I have to.
Thank you for reminding me.
What, can I hold it just in case I have to?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. You can.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay. As you hear a loud crack from higher up in the mountain, followed by a humongous boom and rumbling on the ground starts to shake. What do you do? Are you guys staying there? Or are you?
Is there anything nearby that looks like it sticks out a little bit that it could hide underneath?
So what you guys are going through is just a normal flat plain of snow where there are peppered rocks, and I mean like boulders the same size as probably Athena.
There's nothing that sticks out that you could hide under at all.
No. Oh, you can make an investigation check though, if you wish.
Wait, did you say the ground is
the ground is starting to rumble. The ground beneath you is starting to shake.
That's what I thought. It wouldn't be hiding from something above us. It'll be something below us. The ground is shaking.
So that's a nat 1 for investigation.
That's a nat 1.
Unfortunately, all you see is this peppered boulders and flat plain of snow.
I'll do an investigation as well.
Cling to like get up something with higher ground that I can like jump up onto.
The closest thing that's higher ground is 120 feet in front of you. You can just about see another sheer bit of the rock face where you're going towards. In between that and you is plain snow.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, 120 feet. Lol.
With that information, would you guys like to do anything?
Shit.
Do we head to that bit of higher ground, or?
Sod it. She's fucking running. She's starting to run.
Okay.
Yeah, we should all start running.
I'm running.
If I see Willow running, I'm also gonna run.
I'm sprinting as fast as I can.
Okay.
Now that I'm sitting in, I'll be able to make my intelligence check. See if I can ascertain what it is. Now that I'm anchored after.
Absolutely, make your intelligence check.
Please.
Whether this is a good idea or not.
17.
17.
Yes.
What are you trying to figure out again? Just to see what it is.
So when everyone else was making the intelligence check, I straight just went anchor myself in, and now that I've got a second to think on it, I'll now think to what it may be.
Okay, you can see 100. Well, okay, so you have just gone onto this plane. In front of you, with an intelligence check of 17, you can guess that 100 feet in front of you is another bit of... Have you got dark vision?
No.
How are you seeing at the moment?
The lanterns around us.
The lantern, so you can only see 20 feet in front of you. I would say, because it is a clear... It
40.
Oh, 40. I would say, because it is a...
20 and 20 dim.
It's a clear night, so it's 40... 20 dim, 20 normal. So, because it's a clear night and the kind of silhouette of the mountain you can just about see, especially with the light sources that you would ascertain, especially with the 17, about 100 feet in front of you is where the next set of the mountain pass starts. So it's just sheer snow, then a mountain. You are about to traverse past this place, and you would guess, using your intelligence, that this is where an avalanche would normally hit. Can everybody roll initiative for me, please?
Oh, god damn it.
You rolled initiative for the you rolled initiative for the camera.
I didn't have myself selected, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Panic.
But I got it.
That was me.
Panic initiative.
That was me.
Yeah, this is what's going to happen.
I got a bad one.
The viewers are going to start like joining in a way.
So you got 14.18. Oh, actually, was that? Yeah, it was yours, wasn't it? You just selected the wrong token.
Yeah, because the last thing I moved was the camera, and I thought I.
That's fine, mate.
The camera's going to attack us.
Oh shit!
Let me change it.
Are we fighting the avalanche or something? Like,
Come on, bro.
what's going on here?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. I'll fight a mountain.
I'm sure you're about to find out.
It's time to kill a
That's
mountain.
when the mountain starts walking.
murder
You
some
realise
snow.
we're on the back of a turtle or some
Calling
shit.
it. Yeah. Calling it.
That'd be so cute.
I'm calling it. Calling it
The
right now.
entire mountain is a mimic.
Yeah, the mountain is just like a freaking transformer. It's just like.
So, as everybody has made initiative, hold on. Give me a sec. Can I find me to
Sentry just plugs his USB in. Ooh.
descending. There you
Into mountain. Yeah.
go. Okay, so with this information,
Mountain.
you have a look in front of you, and you can now see this kind of like expanse of this flat plain of snow and peppered rocks, and you feel this crack, and you look up, or kind of like you can hear upwards at a 50-degree angle this rumbling and rushing and this wave noise, and you all, I'm assuming, start to go into a bit of a worry, in which this is why we rolled initiative. Athena goes first. Is Jackal on there as well, or is Jackal Athena?
No, Jackal isn't on there, but he did roll the lowest he's actually ever rolled so far on initiative, a 9.2.
9.2. Wow. Not good news.
Wow.
Well, we were.
He's got 3 nat 20s in a row now, actually. I've just realised.
Don't wanna wonder.
Is everybody on the list? That we can see?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Fandabidorsy. Okay. So, first up is Athena. She hears this, and yeah, I would say, Jackal, this is completely up to you. What are you doing?
She's sprinting up the path.
Okay. What is her movement speed?
40 feet.
What's that, sorry?
40 feet.
40 feet. Okay, cool. I'm gonna make
She
notes.
will action dash as well.
Okay, so that's 80 feet. Give me a sec, guys. Gonna make notes.
Do I have an action dash?
It's like something that you can do. So instead of taking an action like swinging at something, you can go further and use that as your action.
I'm just seeing if I've got any other abilities from my
Okay, so you see Athena run off, and with the action of telling Athena through Jackal to move as fast as she can, she bolts and jumps from one rock to another, and then flies into this kind of like full speed dash, and throws herself into the side, and she makes it over to the other end past the salt and pepper rocks and goes over to the mountain pass. She looks like at the moment she's past this small flat area.
Jackal was riding Athena as well, so Jackal would be over there as well.
If that's the case, that would be right. So you and Athena make it over if you were on the back, which you was.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Next up, because you were halfway through, you were closest to the front. Salvation, you're up next. In which the marching order is you were towards the back.
Mm-hmm.
So you have just seen in front of you. Have you got dark vision, right?
Yep.
You can see in front of you that Jackal and Athena have now made it to the other end. This rumbling is getting more intense and more intense and more intense as it's shaking your whole core. In front of you is Willow Sayer and Boy. What are you doing?
Scheiße. Oh. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm making the selfish decision. I'm just gonna run. My movement speed's 30 feet, and I'm gonna action dash.
I think that's most of us. I think that's what most of us are doing. So don't feel bad.
I know, but I could have cast something on someone. But I'm just all hightailing it out of there. She's panicking.
That's fine. So I would say that this has happened while you're midway through this plane. Jackal was in the middle and now has made it over the end. You are towards the back end. It is going to take further for you to get across the whole width than it is. You can always go backwards as well.
So if I do my full dash, basically I'm still going to be in the line of danger.
You will still be on that plane if you action dash.
And by plane, you mean snow plane.
So
Sorry.
with this, when I say plane, I mean this flat area of which you have deducted. No, it's fine.
I'm checking for me.
Yeah,
Oh.
for centuries.
Oh, okay.
The area
No.
of which you can see that this is where some action has happened. To make it to the mountain pass on the other side, you would have to possibly move a little bit further.
I'm very sorry. I thought you were saying like not like a aeroplane because I was up till 5 a.m. last night, so my brain is soup. I was like,
Yes,
I
an
know
aeroplane
it's
in the
plane and not a
mountains.
plane, duh. I'm so sorry.
The Everest
Oh.
expeditioners were here before.
In the pilot seat.
I don't know why I thought that was.
So let's see if I can make this.
Okay, come on. Raining gear salvation. Let's do this. Crap. Okay. So if I can't make it across, I'm just gonna use my full movement, and then that. So I'm just gonna go 30 feet in whatever looks like the safest direction, and I was holding that resistance, so I'll cast resistance on myself.
Okay, so you're moving 30 feet and casting resistance. Brilliant. Good to know. Okay, just writing that down.
I'm so scared.
That your go? Obviously, you can't do anything else, I don't think. Bonus action?
I don't have any that I can use.
Okie dokie. Next up is Sentry. You were positioned
Back.
towards, at the very back. So you have just seen Sal run 30 feet in front of you and just cast a spell. What are you doing?
Attached onto the cliff or mountainside, and I feel like the ground below me is moving. I won't be able to make it to the other side. I won't be able to make it backwards. I'm going to hammer in more pistons.
Okay.
And attach the climber's boots to my feet.
Okay, which they already are.
Yeah, and then I will brace myself against the wall, and I'll just yell out to everybody. If you can't make it one way and you can't make it the other, come and attach yourself onto these here.
Okay, so you've already got these in,
Yep.
and you basically have just bracing yourself against them and just shouted to the party.
Yep. I'll just literally go there, hold myself,
Okay.
and hold Willow, who's holding onto my leg.
Okay.
If able, am I able to just ready a rage?
I would say you, obviously, as your person, yes, you can. What you can see, guys, obviously on the map, can you see this little line with the two ends?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I mean by the plane. So basically, this is where you got to get to, and this is where you are, and this is where the very most front person started. So you are all in a line just behind like this.
So wait, where is Jackal and
Jackal and Athena are on the other end. Yes.
okay? How far away is the end from? Because I'm second. I'm like right behind.
You would assume
Jackal.
probably 100 feet.
Okay.
Jackal and Athena only had to make it about 80.
Okay. I'm thinking. I mean, I still think he's going. Sentry.
Did you say my name?
Yes, it's still going. Still. You do
No, that's my go overdone.
Oh, okay.
So you're
you
done?
said-
Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about something else.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up is Saya, what are you up to?
Hello. Would it be worth dash? No, I've only got 60 with my dash, haven't I? I'm gonna clip myself onto Sentry.
You're going to clip yourself into Sentry?
Yeah, because that's what he shouted out, didn't he?
Okay, well, yeah, that was it, yeah. So you're going to hold on to Sentry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. And I have my sword drawn just in case, like, if we do get any like suffocated snow, like it'll melt the ice and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Nice thinking ahead. Possibly.
Yeah, just in case if we do get suffocated under anything, it'll kind of like melt it.
Okay. So you're doing that. You grab onto Sentry's leg, and your flame sword is out there ready. And next up is Willow. What are you up to?
Would 90 feet get me over?
From where you are, where are you? You're pretty much bang in the middle. 90 feet would not get you to the other side.
Okay.
Because it was 100 feet for me, and I was second. So.
What is this bullshit? Have I got anything?
You would be able to see this in front of you because you got dark vision as well, haven't you? You know?
I have, yes.
You would be able to see just about the silhouette of this end piece of rock which people are going on about, and you are over 100 feet away from it.
So it's such a good idea, but you can only get up to 90 feet, I think. Yeah. Just trying to think if I have anything. I don't really have anything, so I'm going to grab the rope that I have on me, tie myself to not Sentry. I'm going to do it to the pittance he put down.
So what are you doing, sorry?
I'm tying so I've got a rope. I'm going to tie myself up with my rope and then tie the other end onto the pippins that he put down.
Okay.
But I don't have weight on Sentry to pull him off, sort of thing. I'm just putting it on where he has. And then I'm just going to brace myself. Still, trying to brace myself.
Okay, so you also are bracing yourself against Sentry.
Yeah, but I am attached to... I'm not attached to Sentry.
You're attached to the pins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I popped an extra, so.
Okie dokie.
God damn it.
Okay. Right. Shit the bed. Okay. Next up, before you can do anything else, you hear the rumbling start to get incredibly loud. Like, it starts from a small kind of like wave to a like an absolute, it is mind-bogglingly loud, and you hear the floor shake and rumble. You can feel this thing is very, very close. Next up is Salvation. What are you doing?
Is it not Jackal?
Jackal is on the... Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Jackal, are you doing anything else? Or are you on the other side?
So it'd be Jackal, and then it would be...
Yes, now being on the other side, can I see any better of what's going on?
You can see that the party are... Well, at the moment, you can see that Sal has run towards you. Not quite close, but it's still roughly, you would ascertain, over 80 feet-ish away. You would also see that Sentry, Saya, and Willow have grabbed onto this rock as this rumbling has started to happen.
Okay, I will just shout to Sal. Sal, come on! Quickly! You haven't got much time!
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
Okay. You doing anything else?
And yeah, end of Jackals go.
End of Jackals go. Right, hold on. Okay, now it is because that was Athena's go as well. Is Athena doing the same?
Yeah, Athena will just sit and wait. Yep.
Okay. If that's the case, Sal, your turn.
Full movement, action dash.
Okay, so that is 60 feet.
Yeah, and as I'm going, Vane, I swear to God, if you don't kill me right now, I will do anything you want.
The rumbling has become incredibly loud at this point, and you can almost feel it in the air, like the air is spalling up. I think it was 3. And you're just belting it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you move. I'm just note that down.
I am just
60
running
feet.
real fast.
Yeah, cool. So as you're like running and you're bounding your legs and you're kind of like pushing off rocks and you can see the rest of the guys behind you just not moving at all. You just literally move at 60 feet of movement, and you're almost at Jackal the other end. You
I probably should have gone.
Between you and Jackal, you could ascertain probably 20 feet, if that.
Okay. Well,
R.I.P. See you later, guys. It's nice knowing you.
well, we're in the middle of it. We're gonna get squished.
Okay, is that your turn?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is Sentry. Are you doing anything?
I am going to whack in a couple more pittons around the area, and I will climb up a portion as so that my feet won't be touching the floor, but so that I'm still attached onto the pittons, and I'll.
I will say that the boulder you're on only goes up a few feet. It's not like a ridge. It is a boulder.
Oh, I thought you said we were against the mountain.
You're in the middle of this. Well, you're at the back. So the side you're on, if you was against the mountain, it wouldn't be in this plane. Because there's only boulders in this plane. Because you're at the back, you're at the end.
Okay, so it went mountain,
Plane,
nothing, plain,
mountain.
and there's just a gap between
A gap with peppered boulders. Yeah.
Oh, I misheard that. I wouldn't have said it.
Yeah, pepper in a couple more pittons into the rock in
That's
case
fine.
you might need it.
Okay.
And attach the rope up round. I'm assuming these rocks may be the mountain. And yep, move up portion so that everyone has a bit of space on here, and just ready a rage to ensure that everyone can hold on.
Okay, so readying a rage to just in case anything comes from this mountain.
Yeah.
Cool. There you go.
Yep.
Right, next up is Saya. What are you up to?
I'm gonna use some of my hempen rope to tie myself to one of these things that Sentry's put down,
Okay.
so I'm more secure. I'll do that, and I'll also shout out to Willow. You may want to get some kind of fire ability on if in case we get squished by snow. You want something to melt it.
Okay.
Just so I can get your arrangements, just because of theatre of mind. Sentry was at the back. You've got this mountain, which he's now attached to, which you don't know if you're in or out of this path of this avalanche or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You've got the salt and pepper rocks with the snow plain, and then that's where the other side of the other mountain is where Athena is. You
Yeah, so
guys
we're all
have
with Sentry.
on this side, and you are basically plummeting in, like holding in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all kind of like squished together.
You're all
yeah.
squished together. Okay, that's fine. At the moment, Salvation is literally in the middle of it. And
Yeah, I'm just holding holding on to the two of them, as obviously they're roped on, and I'm roped into all of the pins. So I'm just
Okay.
I've kind of
around me and trying to make
just
sure
in
that
case.
I can hold on to them as much as I can
Okay.
if they need assistance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if that's your go,
Yes.
Yep. Can you make a survival check for me, just because you said you were holding on with hemp?
Yes, yeah, I've got an advantage on that because of my hunter's bane.
Okay.
Survival check.
Okay. You think you've done a good job?
16. I got an advantage.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
You think you've done a good job. Amazing. Good to know. If that's your go, Willow next.
How high is the the boulder attached to? How high?
How high does it go up?
Yeah.
Or past 100 feet?
Cool.
And you can't see
Okay.
past 60, but you can kind of guess in your silhouette on the end it just keeps going. So
Yeah, I'm
past
not
100 feet.
sure if this will work. Can I put my hand or my ear on the rock and see with the vibrations on how far this sound is?
Okay. You want to use your action to do that?
That'll be my action, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Make a.
I am still bracing myself, by the way, so.
That's fine. Make a perception check.
Perception.
I think we all
Is it 24?
24.
Yeah.
I'll say with that higher roll, with a 24, you can guess that this rumbling of this absolute power on the top of this mountain is now about 200 feet away from you.
I will
sorry.
relay
No,
that
no.
to I will relay that to everyone. It's about 200 feet away, and
First,
In-
hold on.
my head, I'm gonna be like talking to myself, bracing myself. I'll be like, "Come on, you daft thing, help me if you can," and I'm just gonna hold it.
Okay. Is that your go?
Unfortunately,
we're dead.
I'm so sad.
We got these nice coasters, and now our characters are gonna f***ing die.
No, if that happens, I'll be mad. Right, we're gonna survive. It's fine.
Fine.
Okay.
The way he yeah, mate, you can't be like heavy breathing and like sighing.
By the way, I would say I
Does
was
not
talking,
help.
I was talking to the thing to see if it could possibly help.
You're talking
That
Why would they, like,
I don't know. It changed to
engage.
the music changed completely just to like
Final Fantasy.
upgraded Pokemon or some stuff. I don't know what's going on. Oh, we got all this. let's cut this bit out, shall we?
Final
Final
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cynical
just to let you know, when I was talking to the thing to see if it could possibly protect me from whatever's going to happen.
Okay,
The
cool.
thing.
Good to know.
The thing. New
Oh,
movie.
right. The thing that was like.
The thing.
Talking to the mountain who dis.
I'm talking to the mountain guys. Please be nice to us.
Oh man, I love some epic Christmas music.
That's the one, man. That's the one.
What?
I just felt this music's just way too
I think I
too
dipped
soft
out.
for this very moment. Let's
yeah.
let's make it a little bit more. Let's
You
make it a
got
little.
fucking Santa.
Okay, so
What, guys? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
again.
can hear you.
Oh, I'm on a massive delay. What's 200 feet
The
away? 'Cause I think I
sound.
dipped at that bit.
The
Yeah,
sound of
The
whatever's
sound
coming.
or whatever it
Oh,
is.
just the
I
sound is
did-
200 feet away.
Yeah,
We're
I
assuming
explained it
it's
in
slow.
a good tone because I don't think anything's going to stop it. So I would have shouted to you guys, say it's about 200 feet away.
We're all gonna die. Well, us three are gonna die.
God damn. Yeah, and I'm just bracing myself.
Who's next?
God damn.
Ah!
Okay. Just gonna pause it here a sec.
Cool.
So guys, just a few technical difficulties. I can't even say that word. Technical difficulties, and we're back into the action. As the party have now, half of them traversed over to the side of this plane, and some of them have made what they think is a brace. In no time at all, Willow puts her ear to the side of this mountain, and before she can make any noise, a bellowing trail, a wave of snow and debris flew through the path. Salvation, can you make a strength saving throw, please, with disadvantage?
Jesus.
Hold on. Hold on.
You get to
Hold
add your
on.
resistance, yeah. Hope you get full.
Don't forget.
Oh, that's an 11
no!
with
Oh,
my
no.
resistance. Oh, Isaac, you said it was coming from underneath, otherwise I would have stayed where I was, because you said the floor was falling out from underneath. I asked, and you
Go on.
said it was going to fall from underneath, so otherwise I wouldn't have gone.
The description says the floor is rumbling. I was just reading out description.
Yeah, go on.
What did
Go
you
on.
get?
11.
11. Okay. Give me a sec, guys. Giving you the dramatic pause.
Oh no.
Oh no. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Ah!
Don't say it.
Oh god.
Don't, I'll cry.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck.
Mark, we need a new coaster.
Oh no!
Oh, for fuck's sake. I swear to
Jackal.
God, if I get that wrong, I'm gonna cry.
I swear to God, I've just
Okay.
paid for these posters, man. It's not
Jackal.
happening.
Come on.
As you
Come
see
on.
this rushing, you literally see Salvation running straight towards you with panic and frustration in her eyes, and before you can look back at what's going on up top, you look towards her and she has gone. She has literally been thrown over the side following this avalanche.
Wait, who Salvation has?
Yeah.
Oh god damn it!
You saw her hand reach out, and before you could grab it, it just took her away.
Ah!
The rest of you, can you all make strength saving throws, please?
Oh,
With
for fuck's
advantage.
sake.
Because you've
Oh.
put in your pittance. Can't say the word.
Strength?
Yes.
Fuck. Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm trying to find it.
I'm holding
where-
on to you guys, and I got a
If I'd have
24.
dashed on that first turn as well, I would have made it.
Okay, so
I
I
24.
got a 10!
I got 17! Okay, that's alright.
you both see Willow fly, and you see her braces kind of hold on and hold on and hold on, and the wind and the debris hits her. A clump of ice flings her out.
I'm holding on to her.
You're holding on to her with a strength save of 24. You manage to hold on to yourself and
Oh
hold
my
on to
God.
her at the same time, luckily. And
I'm just there like,
Saya, you are holding on
Oh my
and
God!
holding
thank
on,
you!
and your arms start to give way, and you manage to just carry on, and this snow starts to pile and pile, and it goes darker and darker, and you hear nothing.
Ooh. What about me? What's happening to me? I got a 17.
All three of you are in place, but now are lost in a mound of snow.
Does the fire on my sword melt any of the snow?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
No!
Has Jackal gone somewhere at this pinnacle moment?
Yeah, we just paused
oh,
for a
yes,
sec.
boys, yeah.
No.
Are we recording?
No.
No, he paused it.
I've waited 3 fucking hours for my food for them to then call me and say, "Hello, your order's been cancelled."
Oh no.
When did you order?
Not on fucking sort your shit out and compensate me.
Toby Carver.
Where did you order from, Jem?
Deliveroo.
Yeah, no.
Toby Carvery.
Okay.
Recovery, Deliveroo. Waited hours for my food. Well, I've literally just received a text from him to say it's cancelled. then sent an email to their customer support team. They've then got back to me saying, we'll contact you in 24 hours. I've literally now just had a call from the guy. Yeah, I've waited 3 fucking hours.
Deliveroo have done that to me 3 times, so I don't use them anymore.
Yeah, it's so annoying because I've just finished work. I've had no time to sort food, so I thought, right, let's order something. Enjoy that. Still waiting, starving, dying.
Do you not have anything at home, Jam? Do you not have like?
No, literally nothing.
You don't even have a beef and a rice cake.
I've got like snacky bits, but I want dinner. I've hardly eaten anything all day because of how busy I've been.
If I were you,
Standby,
100% make sure that you always got something super quick like pot noodle or Uncle Ben's.
Your chicken
Uncle Ben's
chasseur.
hashtag my dad when it comes to not having dinner. He becomes Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben. Spider-Man.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben dies too many times, guys. Can we stop remaking Spider-Man?
I can't.
Honestly, the amount of
Every
time
time.
Uncle Ben has fucking died, it's unreal, man.
There's been too
Every
many
single
every
time it hits
reboot.
me.
Every reboot, he's got to die.
Did
They're
you
just
hear
like-
that all 3 Spider-Mans are going to be upcoming though, all together, and all 3 actors have decided they will work together?
This avalanche is brought to you by.
I hate it.
By Basic Woodworker.
Fucking new Spider-Man gets released. Let's get rid of Ben.
Oh no!
The next assault team's ready.
Come on, I can't believe this is being dragged out.
What is
Is
about
it-
to unfold?
Do I get to know what my sword does, or is it going to be Jackal's?
So,
Just let me find out if I'm alive or not.
Jackal, what you see is not only a salvation arm, it's almost like a cinematic where Sal is running towards you. First her face gets covered and then her arm just disappears and she falls with this avalanche. It's only a brief second as
Soft landing.
as it passes you and dust gets thrown in your face as you wince back with Athena, and then you look to your right and there is a big thick trail of snow now 10 feet high. In the other direction you can't see Saya, Sentry or Willow. What are you doing?
Is the snow still flying?
It's kind of like gone from a massive rumble to a rush to now just like the dust has settled. It's taken about 10 seconds and all you're seeing now is nothing. 10 feet of snow, no party. What are you doing?
Jackal's going to look around to see if there's any more snow going to come from anywhere, if there's anything he can see in particular, but primarily if there's any more avalanches are going to come down.
Okay, I'm guessing use your primordial, is it? Can't remember what it's called.
Primal.
Primeval.
Yeah.
That senses thing you got.
No, I'm just doing a general perception check at the moment,
Okay, just having a look around. Make that perception check for me.
because otherwise it takes a minute, which is going to be 10 rounds, so we won't do that. Oh, nat 20!
Nice.
Nat 20.
Nice.
25.
Okay, 25.
Get out.
Amazing. So with the 25, you get up. In fact, Athena kind of like lurches you up the top of this soft snow, and you kind of trug through and trug through and trug through and go back to where you saw Sentry last. And you go through and you go through. At this point, guys, you are all in the snow, and for a moment you are blind, deafened, and you can't breathe. Now, Saya, your sword is slowly starting to burn away the snow on your sword, which is now helping you breathe a little bit more.
Yay.
Sentry and Willow, you are currently suffocating.
I'm not.
Sentry
breathe.
doesn't breathe. Willow, you are currently suffocating.
I'm going
With
to
it-
try and start climbing my way out.
Okay, so I want you to make a strength saving throw, please.
God damn.
Willow, why don't you use
You
some?
can't speak.
You can't hear. She is deaf.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant
Wiggler under the snow.
I meant
Oh,
an
God.
athletics if that's any better, or is it just the same?
I've done it. 17.
Okay, 17.
Maybe?
So
that's not
with the
bad.
17, because this is your first one, I'm gonna obviously be a bit easier on you. You did make the DC by 2. You managed to pry yourself and throw your arms up, and luckily you weren't that far from the surface. And Jackal, you see this, just Willow's face just appear from this and go like a breaching whale.
Okay, Jackal's gonna literally sprint over to Willow.
Feel something.
Willow!
Okay,
Wow!
Would he be able to
He's
see my
gonna, like,
torch?
And I'll
he's
start
gonna
climb
just
my way
shove
out.
the snow, try and help her out.
okay.
Sarah and Sentry down there.
Saya,
Would
you
you
are
be able
currently
to-
still deafened, but you can still see your oxygen is running out.
Would he be able to see my sword poking like a bit of like?
You're lucky he got that natural 20 because below him is a very weird, bright, coloured ripple through the snow. What do you
Hey,
do,
that's
Jackal? You do
And
not
I
know
will
any of
command-
this.
I will command Athena just to start rapidly digging at the snow whilst I'm helping Willow.
Athena digs and digs and digs, and for about a few seconds you find the familiar sword of Saya grasped onto the side, and you pull him out, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
And he breaches again and takes a big, deep breath. And the only person now missing, you can't see Sentry anywhere.
I'm just gonna keep on digging roughly around the same spot, last knowing that they're all together. Just keep on digging.
Okay? So you keep digging, and it doesn't take you long because you're all together and huddled. You see,
Am I
you
do
see,
anything?
you see the top of a tin or a metal head.
Is it treasure?
I want to look around for Sal, by the way, please, and use Apollo to help me.
Okay. So I'm guessing you look at where the
Where she last was, like
where
around the area.
yeah. So you kind of like look over the edge and see where this avalanche has gone to, and you kind of like you're clever enough and you can figure out that the avalanche actually goes towards a direction very similar to where the camp was. Now, in the trail that you can see just in front of you, the 60 feet is covered in snow. What are you doing?
So I can't see her at all. Can I make a perception check or something to see if I can try and determine where she might have gone?
Yeah, make a perception.
Mass is what I'm using.
Okay, Sentry, where are you going?
Oh, no one's.
If I'm,
11.
Okay. First off, we'll do Sentry, and then we'll do you, Willow.
yeah, if I'm out, then I will. Since I was taking note on where everyone was holding on, seeing where Sal was beforehand, would I be able to go over to that direction?
Yep.
And a little ways down, maybe do survival to see if there's any patch of earth that's more collated over or loose because there's a being inside of it.
Okay.
Can
So
I do the same? I get an advantage. Obviously.
yeah, I mean, everyone make a perception while you're there.
Yes.
Jackal, are you doing anything? Did you say? Or just
Oh,
heard your voice?
nice.
Yeah, so because of course I would have helped Sentry out, and then I'd be also looking for Sal, trying to find her.
You are very lucky because of the keen sense that Saya has. And Saya, you smell the body of Salvation with a natural 20
Oh.
has fell 1,000 feet down the cliffside, which is closer to the camp. Now, just so you guys know, you were thrown into snow. And
Right.
using your intelligence, she may be alive.
Oh.
If you can find her.
We'll
I'll-
immediately get on
I'll-
Athena. Sprint
Yeah,
down.
I'll let the guys know that I can smell her, and I'll start running in the direction.
Yeah, I'll start running back down again.
So I know
make the guys follow me.
Okay.
we're on the edge of a cliff. the snow would have gone. So this is the cliff. Snow would have gone up, down, over. So it's soft snow at the bottom here. So I was in next.
Yes.
So landed.
How far down is it?
1,000 feet.
Okay, we better get down there first then.
You know, it took you guys roughly 40 minutes to get from where you are now to the base camp. So what are you doing?
We weren't running though. We were.
You weren't. You were walking and traversing.
So this
So
time
if
can
we
we
started
run?
sprinting, how long would it take?
Half the time.
It looks as though climbing might help go faster down.
Up to you. What do you want to do?
I'm running. I don't care. I'm running.
Athena has
I
a
mean, if
climb.
some of us climb and some of us
so-
run,
Okay.
then we'll at least have someone get there.
Yeah,
Someone.
it's a race. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Athena
Jack
has a climb speed, so I'm literally taking the most direct route down on Athena. And we're racing down.
I'll go with Jackal because I'm like hot on the tail, and I'll probably be with Boy, I guess. Like,
While that's happening, Salvation, you take 8 bludgeoning damage as you are thrown left, right, and centre into a soft snow, but you hit a few trees, a few bits of debris hit you. You are currently blind, suffocating, and you can't see or hear. Make a strength saving throw with disadvantage.
Dang.
Oh.
At least it wasn't a one. At least it wasn't a one.
You stay where
Oh, it
you are.
was one.
You stay where you are for the for the.
Oh no, it wasn't one.
What are you guys doing? So, Sentry, you're climbing down.
D6 can be 120. Yeah, I'll begin climbing down.
Okay.
It's 1,000 feet.
Am I aware at all?
Say again.
Am I aware at all?
You are aware, yes.
Can I attempt to cast Sacred Flame straight up?
You can try. Your arms and legs are bound, so in whatever direction your arms and legs are stuck in. Now, what I will let
Whatever
you,
arm
You'll
isn't
be like that.
pointing at me.
what I will let you do something. Roll a percentile die for me, please.
How do I do
A
that?
what?
A D100.
Oh,
Somehow.
Can I do that on here?
You should be able
I
to.
can.
Before you roll it, don't roll it just yet.
Oh, shit.
Oh, can I do something quickly as well?
oops.
Yeah, go
Can I send a message to her?
on. What's your message spell say?
Once I'm within range of 120 feet, so the closer I get, I want to use my copper wire to send a telepathic message to her, advising, "Are you alive?"
Okay, you're currently 1,000 feet, so yeah, keep.
Oh
that
no,
in.
no! When I get within 120 feet, I want to send that message.
That's fine. You can do that.
Thank you.
It's quite. So, are you Sentry? You're climbing down the mountain, and the rest of
Yeah.
you are running.
Jackal is on the back of Athena, and Athena is also climbing at a speed of 30 feet.
I thought she had 40 feet.
He's got a 30-foot climb speed, so probably
climb.
still faster than anyone else.
Yeah, and I would say because of the avalanche, you can climb down.
Nice.
Okay, so you are climbing down at 30 feet, and the rest of you guys are going the long way around, running.
Mm.
What did you just roll? 20d6, by the way.
I'm just doing maths.
Okay.
So,
He wants to see if he
At a
can
time
survive
like
the
this!
jump.
Just so you know, Salvation. Anything over the anything between 90 and 100, one of your arms would have been up. That's what I was trying to tell you before, but it's fine. You can cast Sacred Flame by all means.
Oh!
Okay, but I got a 61, so it.
You have no idea. Well, you know where your arms are, but they're not facing upwards. They're literally.
But do I know they're not facing towards me at least?
I would say that one of them is what. From when you fell, one of them is facing down towards your leg, and one of them is kind of like out to the side.
I'll cast it with the one out to the side then.
Yeah.
Just gonna get some kind of airway, I suppose. Similar to what I did.
I was thinking more of flare.
Or that.
I'm just going to Google is Sacred Flame a flame or a magical flame?
It's a
Radiant.
magical
But
flame.
another
Yeah,
side
it's a
effect is
magical
you
flame.
get air. So you should be alright.
Okay, it's classed as a divine flame, not a flame.
Damn.
I knew it wasn't going to help me breathe. It was just to get it
For light. Okay, yeah, cool.
out the snow
Yeah.
as a flare.
Okay, so you cast it. Are you casting it?
Mhm.
For this, I would say you've just literally gotten down. And we'll keep that in mind for now. So I would say, just looking back on the map, if I'm doing this right, so salvation is unknown. Willow and Saya, you're running with Boy.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, Boy, I did a roll for him. He managed to dive out of the way.
I thought, oh my god, I thought you said he managed to die.
Yeah, Boy's senses are a little bit heightened more than anyone, and he actually ran back past you. You didn't see it because he just ran so quick, but he survived. Yeah, so
I was like, I can't have
just for our animal caring lovers.
If that happens, I'm gonna cry if that. Right,
So
let's go.
Sentry and Jackal and Athena are going down the hill. Okay, where would you like to go next? So you guys are just running and running and running.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Um,
I would like. So I think. So, Sentry.
DM, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Woundbind Poultice. If I am applying it to myself, and so it's being absorbed in to give myself healing,
Yes.
would I be able to give myself a little buffer of HP? So I take HP damage, but get like a second of the healing from the Woundbind Poultice.
So what are you trying to do? Just describe to me.
Well, if I feel like I would be able to, I'm going to rage, and I will plummet towards the snow.
Okay, absolutely.
Don't squish her.
Do I feel as though the Woundbind it would?
You would feel like it works immediately. So if you had it in midair, I would make you attempt to apply it in midair.
Oh no, because I'm as in like if I hit and it's just been applied and then I take like
That's what I
40
mean. So in the air, you would apply it before you hit the ground.
Yeah.
But you'd have to
Okay.
make a check.
It would probably give me some healing when I hit the. Okay. Yeah, Sentry's going to do that
Okay.
because he's worried about what's happened to Sal, and he'll be the quickest one down them.
Good to know.
I am going to.
He's a missile.
Jackal, you see beside you steam come out, and Sentry just takes off from the side of the cliff.
Okay. As
No.
Sentry is taken off from the side of the cliff, Jackal, can you make a dexterity check for me, please? And the rest of you, can you make me a dexterity check, please?
Dexterity
See how
checkaroo.
quickly you can do this. 19, fantastic. You go down, you hit a few rocks, but they don't stumble you or fall. You carry on moving. You guys again, familiar path, no problem whatsoever. Saya, Willow, you do trip and fall, but with Saya's dexterity and you would immediately help her up, and there is no delay to your journey.
Can you see the message, by the way, Fraser, I put to you?
Can see. Yes, I can.
Can anyone else see a FRANNNNN?
Yes.
No.
No.
Oh, I can.
Cool. Thank you. That's fine. I just wanted to confirm.
Okay. Salvation. You cast the spell. Can you please mark another point of exhaustion on your sheet, please? Okay. Sentry. You leap off from the side. And from the side, you can see that this is a sheer drop now, as the avalanche has gone down.
Yep.
And you are now falling. I would say you made it probably 120-ish feet, so you've probably got another 800 feet below you.
I thought you said it was a 1,000-foot straight drop.
It is a 1,000-foot straight drop, but you are just going down the little edges of snow, and now you are falling roughly 800 feet as you are climbing to start off with.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't go like that in a right angle. It kind of like sloops down.
What now?
I'll just have the
We're getting
poultice
to you. We're doing it.
ready.
1 sec.
We're getting there.
Alright, alright.
Emotionally prepared for this.
I am
We got
literally
it. Alright.
multitasking left, right, and centre here. Otherwise.
We
I'm
have
sweating. I want to know.
We got it. No, it's fine. It's
I'm
fine. No one's
warning you
dying.
guys.
No
If
one
she
is
dies,
dying.
I am going to cry.
No one is going to fuck.
I will be.
No, you're not going to die. You're not going
I'm
to die.
gonna have to turn my camera off because I'm just gonna be
No.
sat here like a
You
blubbering
will
mess.
not die.
I'm on my way.
Fucking. I can see it's like a missile just.
It's going to be
steaming
fine.
So,
Okay,
Can
you are.
use your rage steam
You
to melt
push.
ice?
You push off Sentry, and you are now free falling 800 feet into you do not know. Can you make a dexterity saving throw to apply your poultice in midair?
yeah.
With advantage because you've done this before. In terms of applying it, not jumping in.
I was gonna say, yeah, jumping off.
What is this specific
It's not like you're attempting to do something stupid, like
Yeah.
apply wings to yourself. Well, you're doing something familiar whilst falling, which is, I would say, with an advantage. So a 12. Okay, cool. You are now falling 700 feet, 600 feet. Yeah, Jackal, are you doing anything? The rest of the guys, you've just made it down to the first bit of the peak.
How far am I now? From
you are roughly 10 minutes away.
Would I be within 120 feet?
You don't know.
Oh, I'm going to send the message just in case anyway.
Okay.
Yep.
Roll a percentile die. Between 90 and 100, the message
So
goes through.
How do I write? Roll 1d100.
Yep.
Shit, I expected to leave the music again. No music.
You point out your arm towards the direction, and you say this message, which I'm not going to make you say, and nothing happens.
I'm just going to sprint as fast as I can using my amazing dexterity of, 16. And
Okay.
just
Would
sprint as fast
would
as I
Salvation
can.
have fired
and
this thing off, by the way? Yeah?
Say again? Oh, yeah, she did. Which I was going to say. At this point, this is where you saw the Aurora Borealis. Both of you make perception checks.
Perception checks, okay.
20.
24.
With a
First
20, just on the DC, you see this small, faint light come from where the base camp is. And I
Can I
mean
hear the ball go off?
pea-sized. And then it goes.
Yeah, I start sprinting, so she's trying to get out.
Do I get anything from smell and hearing from that 24?
From your smelling hearing, you well, that's advantage 24. You absolutely know or can kind of guess the area of where you're going, and you can almost dictate where this smell is coming from. With your enhanced smell.
Okay, that helps.
Okay, going back to Sentry. 300,
They beat me to the bottom.
300,
After I
300 feet. No, this is happening at the same time.
Okay.
So this is your jumping is happening technically before, but I'm trying to jump between two.
Okay, alright. I was like, what?
200 feet.
Missile.
Jackal, are you doing anything?
He's grabbing his
He's
dinner.
gone to get his dinner.
Jackal, stop eating.
He's
just like when we both go.
back of Athena, just like rations.
At this point, our heroes were in a spot of bother. Sentry threw him off in aid to Salvation to help her in some way, throwing himself off Kelvins Cairn 1,000 meters down into the dark. would he ever be seen again. Jackal, on the other hand, decided to run faster and faster with Athena by her side. Unfortunately slipped and fell into the same fate.
Coming through. Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry for interrupting the story. You will grab a seat and listen, yes? Is this okay?
You can't just barge in this story. These patrons have paid good money to listen to this. You must sit down immediately and listen.
Sorry, yes. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
Now, where was I before I was rudely interrupted? Yes. So, there they were, going to the aid of Salvation, who life was giving up on her as she was deep into the depths of the snow. With no time to waste, the whole party decided to go and save Salvation. Willow and Sayer on tow, and Sentry and Jackal almost flying to the rescue. First on the ground was Sentry, as he plummeted face first into the snow, taking some damage, but managed to first start recklessly digging, trying to find Salvation in this new plane of dust and powder that the avalanche destruction has cast upon this land. Then, shortly after, Jackal also plummeting to the ground, taking some damage, but nevertheless, the search party continued. Eventually, Willow and Sayer made their way to the base of the mountain of which they had started, but it all looked very different, as the campsite they once started at was ruined, desecrated in the way of this avalanche. Time was ticking. Salvation's life force was slowly drifting away from her, as the party struggled to find and make place on different parts of the ice and scurrying and digging, recklessly and frantically, trying to save Salvation. With one final push, with help of Sayer's incredible senses, smelling out the placement and the force of the party digging, Salvation was pulled from the snow, almost lifeless. They quickly moved her body to a safer spot within a crevice within the mountainscape, away from the wind and dust and shale. They, with magical items and Sayer's sword, tried to warm the body up of this semi-conscious figure. Quick thinking by Sentry, he made a home almost under the snow. Digging through the 10-foot wall the avalanche let through, he made a igloo of sorts, a hut made of snow, where the party would gather their senses, keep Salvation alive, and find out what they're going to do next. As Garret lays stranded and alone and possibly in danger of the mountain, whatever will they do as the clock continues ticking?